Hello and welcome once again to more great VFL action in pro football. This week, I don't think I'm being unfair when I'm saying we're featuring two sides that have run hot and cold this season. I'm talking about Fitzroy and Richmond. They're playing at the MCG. The Lions, after a fine performance last week against the Hawks, believing they can still play off in the finals. The Tigers, well, their job is a little tougher, but at least they can make it hard for other teams. A great atmosphere was at the MCG as we take you there now for the opening bounce.
The umpire raises the ball, about to get this game underway at the MCG between Fitzroy and Richmond. Very important game for Fitzroy. Williamson in the ruck. The ball comes out towards centre half forward. Lee meets solid. They're coming through. Waitman can't hold the ball. Punched down to the half forward line for Richmond and then cleared by the Fitzroy defenders. A hurried kick towards the centre wing and leading in the race for the ball is Scott McIver from Queensland. Formerly from Queensland, a real goer is young Scott McIver. And to do the ruck work will be Graham Williamson and Michael Roach. I think, is that Michael Roach or Simon Clark? It's Simon Clark. 4 is Eustace. Ball with Waitman. Shoots a handball out to Palm now. Palm going goalward. A high kick into that goal square. Roach. Pert behind. Tries to punch the ball. Nobody can trap it, and throwing himself over the ball was the big captain, Mark Lee. And Lee starting off normally as a ruckman, but through injuries now starting forward, using a little bit of strength. And the forward line for Richmond rather big with both Lee and Roach. Nobody really got that hit down. Comes out. Ball on the ground there. Hit off by Ruse. Scott Clayton, another real goer. Real body player. Punches the ball over the boundary line. And again, the ball to be thrown in on or in the left forward pocket. Richmond kicking to the right of our screen. Lee and Williamson to do the ruck work. Nobody got that down. Handball shot out. And play a little scrambling at the moment. Both sides trying themselves out, as it normally does happen early on in a game.
Well, thanks very much, Don. And it's a very important game for both sides, Don. And today you'll find that Fitzroy at the moment out of the 5 on percentage, and a very important game for them, as the Roys will go out the back and they send up the centre half on the centre wing. In the front there is Barwick, and I think you'll find that Doug Barger will pay the free kick. So Barwick passes on to Paul Ruse, and Paul Ruse sends it down to centre half forward. Oh, Richard Osborne can't get the ball, but here's this young fella, Mark Dwyer, has been a sensation in the last 3 weeks. He traps the ball, gets on the left foot, shoots it across. He's looking for his teammate, and he's found him. A good mark there from Richard Osborne. And certainly Richard Osborne, when he plays well, Fitzroy plays well, and he's been a match winner. And last week against Hawthorn played a very good game. And early or halfway through the season against Eston at Victoria Park, he won the game. So Richard Osborne, certainly an important player for Fitzroy's side. The 50-metre mark, having a shot for goal. This will be the first score of the board. It's coming back, and it'll be right through the middle. So Fitzroy's first goal at the MCG, and the Roys 1 goal, 6 points. Richmond yet to score at the 3-minute mark of the first quarter.
Well, that was good play by young Dwyer. I've been very impressed, having seen him a couple of times this year. He's only just come into the side, straight out of country football, and really we don't know, or the opposition don't know much about young Dwyer. He's a left foot kick, and he set that up. He screwed it back onto that foot, and Richard Osborne, who is now playing at full forward, hogs on Richard Osborne, led out in front and took the mark. Now Williamson and Clark. Williamson dug the feet in. Handball shot out, now going down towards Richmond scoring end. A high kick, Roach. Has the ball punched away by Pert. Picking up and roving well is Ruse. Ruse over the top. Now they set up the running game. Thornton, number 4, another handball to Pekin. Could have kicked, now Pekin looking up, goes for a bounce, realising nobody's around. Player shepherding, now another handball. Maybe a kick would have been better. Across to Pekin again. Pekin now going in towards centre half forward. The ball over the players' heads. Richmond are first to recover. Now set up the running game through a series of hand passes on the half back line. Graham Landy going out towards centre wing. Scott Clayton takes a good chest mark and steady down play. Over to Scott McIver, now onto his wrong foot, which is his right foot. And again, what a magnificent man. Playing in front and doing it very, very well is Richard Osborne. A player with a lot of ability. And that's a classic lesson to a lot of young fellows. That's the way you play football in front. And Richard's doing it particularly well early on in this stage. Lines up for his second goal. And could it be the second goal of the game? No, it's not. 1 point to Richard Osborne. So the score now 1-1. Fitzroy, Richmond yet to score.
Well, Richard Osborne's kicked 52 goals for the 86th season, and certainly an important cog in the Fitzroy side is Jimmy Jess, the veteran from 76 and St Arnaud, kicks the ball out long. No one can take the ball. It comes to the ground. Taken there by number 31, Dean Notting. Sends it up to the half-forward line. Could have been in the back there, the Fitzroy player. And I think you'll find that the umpire will play that free kick. So Fitzroy to send it out the back. Kings it up high. There was Michael Reeves. Number 4, Ross Thornton, has been paid the mark in front of the captain, Mark Lee. Well, an important game today, Don, for Fitzroy, being out of the 5 on percentage.
Well, my word, Ray, and actually it's quite interesting to note that Fitzroy haven't put consecutive wins together since round 3.
Okay, Scotty Clayton could have been trapped, but it wasn't paid. Couldn't be played then, and taken by Dean Turner, and it's against Dean Turner. So the Tigers, and taking away there is David Palm. He flicks it over the top there, looking for Richard Geary. Geary flicks it on. Can he trap it? Coming in to support is Clark, but Geary gets the ball and sends it up to the half-forward line. Dean Notting couldn't take the ball, and Fitzroy come out the back, and Paul Roos takes a mark on the half-back flank. Well, Paul Roos got time, tries to go around his Richmond players, opponents he does, to Gary Pert, and Pert breaks the tackle on the left foot, sends it up to the half-forward line, and should be a mark to McGrath, and McGrath's taken the mark about 60 metres from the half-forward line. Taken away there, a handball across to Blakey, and John Blakey sends it up there. Players, oh, should have been a mark there. No, wasn't paid to Graham Landy, and the ball go over the line and out of bounds in the forward pocket.
That was good play by the Richmond defenders, also by the young Fitzroy wingman in Dwyer. Kept his eye on the ball, and the Richmond defenders did the right thing in punching it over the line. Now the ball in the right forward pocket for Richmond, for Fitzroy. And again, the ball to be thrown in. Doing the ruck work, it's number 42, only a young ruckman, Simon Clark. And obviously he's playing very, very well if the captain, Mark Lee, has to be, well, I suppose, relegated to the forward pocket. Now, up over the back is Pekin. Gets a handball away. Ball on the ground. And again, the umpire will have to come in and ball up right in that forward pocket. We've played 7 minutes of this first quarter. And a crowd of, I'd say it's hard to estimate at the MCG because capacity-wise it could hold about 100,000. I would say about 20,000 maybe here today to watch this game. Pushing the ball over the line there was Philip Walsh. And in front of him was young player from the country. I don't know what particular country town, but it was Mark Dwyer. He's playing his 3rd or 4th game. A very impressive youngster. Coming through there and doing it very, very well and showing a good turn of space is John O'Neill, a real goer for the Richmond side. Now trapped by Turner and going in towards centre half forward. And that is McGrath, Craig McGrath, who's one player that can keep his eye on the ball and is an excellent high mark. That ball shot down very, very quickly off that half-back line by Dean Turner. He attacked the ball really well. And now McGrath, some 40 metres from goal on about a 45-degree angle. Now, the distance won't represent a problem. Accuracy could. Now young Craig lining up. This is his first year in a responsible position, centre half forward. It's a high ball. Will it make the distance? No, it's not. Down to ground, and the Richmond defenders play it safe and punch it through for another behind. So that takes Fitzroy on to 1-2-8. Richmond yet to score. We've played 8.5 minutes of this first quarter.
So the ball comes out from the Tigers, and Jimmy Jess couldn't take the mark. Graham Landy, the experienced Graham Landy, gets the handball across to Barry Rawlings, another experienced player, actually a former teammate of Don Scott, my fellow commentator, as the ball flicks up in the air. Here's the working Dale Waitman, taken away by Craig Smith, and he traps it and sends a right foot shot across to Mark Lee, and Lee will take the mark. A good mark from the captain. The hand pass, very foolish to Walsh, and Blakey traps the ball. And Mark Lee could have went back for that. There's Dean Notting, or could have been around the neck there to Dale Waitman. Good decision, umpire. So Dale Waitman the experienced Rover. Actually been a very good footballer for Richmond this year. Each time we've seen Dale Waitman, he's played a very, very good game. And he's been around a long time. Came from Mildura in 1978, over 150 games experience. So certainly at about 35 metres out, I think he should kick this. Accuracy is the only difficulty, and I think he's been offline there, actually, which is surprising. So he puts it through for a point. So the Tigers register their first score. Richmond 1 behind, trailing Fitzroy 1 goal to 8 at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter here at the MCG.
Now bringing the ball in is Gary Pert, the fullback for Fitzroy, and he's gone to that outer wing. Who's he looking for? Graham Williamson, but Williamson had that ball punched away. It was good play by Simon Clark. Now the ball over the boundary line to be thrown in. Left forward flank for Richmond. Williamson and Clark to do the ruck work. Clark uses that big body, puts it in front, gets it down. Trapping the ball well is Pekin. Pekin plays on quickly with that handball. Now going in towards centre half forward. Behind is McGrath, Jess in front. Ball really in dispute at the moment, and attacking it well. Just can't pick that player up. Might have been Eustace across to Bauer. Bauer up to the half forward flank. Dean Notting leading in the race for the ball. Can't trap it. Simon Clark, a quick handball, although a little in slow motion. He gets it across to his teammate, who in turn goes to centre half forward, and Scott Clayton in front. Has the ball punched away. McIver playing on the big general, Mark Lee. Manton at centre half forward goes goalward. What has he done? He's kicked the first goal for Richmond, and that's what they wanted, and they're only 1 point behind now, Richmond. Fitzroy 1-2-8, and the first goal kicked by John Manton, and Richmond 1-1-7.
Well, Don, actually, you didn't give a commitment on who you felt would win today. I've got a bit of a feeling Richmond could do well.
Well, you really don't know about Fitzroy, Ray. They've been up and down, as I mentioned earlier. They won their first 3 games on end, but since round 3 have not put 2 wins together consecutively. So it's very, very interesting. They won last week, did it very, very well. If we go on the record, they'll lose today.
Well, Simon Clark, and as Don said, in the first ruck, Mark Lee down forward. And Roach punched away, coming through. There's Johnny Anea, flicks the hand pass over there. Can he trap it there? It's Geary, but Fitzroy, but good play, Mark Eustace, but he can't get the ball, and it's been punched away there by the Fitzroy player, Bernie Harris, and over the line and out of bounds. Well, certainly Fitzroy put a big one in last week against the league leaders Hawthorn, and put themselves back in the firing line for the 5, and today's a very important game to the club. As it thrown in, comes out to the back. Barry Rawlings, but good play there from Doug Barwick, and the ball will go over the line just on the 50-metre mark in the attacking zone for the Richmond side. Richmond kicking to the right of the screen as the boundary umpire throws the ball back in. Lee, no one can trap the ball. Eustace comes to the ground. It's picked up there by Anea. Flicks it over the top there, and it goes to picked up by the Fitzroy player, and remember Richmond attack it again from John Anea on the left foot. Ruse in the front, could have been a mark there. I think you'll find that John Manton will be paid that. Very good mark, Johnny Manton. Actually an improved footballer this year, Don.
I've always been impressed with this young fellow. I believe he should play in the ruck, and he doesn't just get the opportunity at Richmond because they've got 2 ruckmen in front, but he's got a tremendous leap. Maybe a little bit undisciplined off the field, I believe. But I think a player who really tries his hardest each time he goes out in the ground. Now, on a difficult angle is Manton. Can he run around and kick straight? We'll wait on the umpire. He's kicked it, so there's the second goal. All set up by Eustace, who got the ball out of that pack, shot it across with a series of handballs, a high kick by Anea, and Manton used his body very well in front of the pack. In front of, actually, not the pack, but Paul Ruse used his strength very, very well, and he's kicked Richmond's second goal. And they've taken the lead. 2-1-13, the Tigers. Fitzroy 1-2-8, and we've played 13.5 minutes of this first quarter.
Well, a very nice day in Melbourne today. With sunny day, a little bit of a north wind, but doesn't affect the players here at the MCG. And the ground's in excellent condition as the umpire bounces the ball, and it's Williamson. But Richmond will send it up to the half-forward line again, and it comes to the ground. Rawlings working hard. Couldn't kick off the ground there. Was the Fitzroy player in Hitchin, but he traps the ball to Barwick, flicked over the top, comes down to the half-forward line, but it could have been a free to McGrath, and the umpire says no free, and McGrath and Jess, and Jimmy Jess having a little bit of a talk to Doug Barwick, nothing in that, but in the atmosphere of the game. So the ball's thrown in. Simon Clark doing the work. Williamson comes to the ground. Couldn't be picked up there from Dean Turner, trying to work it hard, and the umpire says, give it to me, fellas, and we'll clear it away and bounce it up. Well, 14 and a half minutes gone here at the MCG, and Richmond 13, leading Fitzroy 8, a 5-point lead, but the game in a tight situation. It hits the ground. McGrath, Barwick, kicks it out. Coming there is David Palm. Can he work it? Yes, he does. He tries to get to his teammate. Good play there from Wakeman. Over to Eustace. Richard Geary on the right foot. Oh, look at him on his own. Can he pick it up there? Dean Notting. He can't trap it. He does. He flicks it back. Handballs over the top. Mark Lee, the captain, straightens up and put it through. Good goal from the Tigers. Good goal, Mark Lee. And the Tigers 3-1-19. Fitzroy 1-2-8. 15 minutes gone here at the MCG in the first quarter.
Well, it's a remarkably offensive game, today's type of football, and there was a classic example. Fitzroy started off with a bang, and young Dean Notting, they've made an interchange, and coming on is number 27, Maurice Rioli, and Notting was responsible for getting that ball up to Mark Lee, and Mark Lee banged through Richmond's third. Rioli coming off, he started on interchange. A lot of controversy early on in the season as to where Morris would play. He's finally finished up at his old club, and now he's started on interchange, mainly due to the fact of a lack of pre-season, and you can't forget you've got to train very hard for football. The ball now on the half-back line. Young Dwyer leading in the race to the ball, shrugs that tackle. A player with a lot of potential. Let's hope he goes on with it. Tim Pekin there dodges the tackle. A good runner is Tim Pekin. Across to Scott Clayton, a little chip. Blakey, tremendous courage, John Blakey. Got a lot of good young players, Fitzroy. And Blakey, only a youngster, went away to Ireland, 1980 I think it was, played his first game last year and now has established himself as a senior player and taking a very good mark there, Jimmy Jess in front. Jim playing his 200th game today, plays on quickly. Finds John Annear by himself. What a crook bounce. You always go and meet the ball. You don't wait for it to come to you. A good tackle by Osborne. At least he tried to trap the ball, and that's all you can ask. He gave away the free kick, and the free kick going to John Annear. Annear, who came originally from Western Australia, started at Collingwood, now is with Richmond. The ball now in the centre. Leading in the race for punching the ball away desperately there was Barwick. Dean Turner on screen. I think that'll be a free. No, the umpire said play on. I thought it'll be a free kick to Dean Turner. And Richmond relieved. Centre wing, Hinchin up high. Ball comes to ground. Well done, Graham Hinchin. Chips it in towards centre half forward and backing back. Oh, one hand up was Mickey Conlon. Now he gets a lucky break. Goes Goldwood, and he's replied for Fitzroy. Fitzroy now 2-2-8. They trail Richmond 3-1-19. We've played 17 and a half minutes of this first quarter.
A 5-point lead to the Tigers. Good play there for Michael Conlon. And he's certainly been around Fitzroy for a while, Michael. He came from Anurka in 1977 and has been a great player for the Fitzroy side. So the ball back in the centre. And the umpire today is umpires McDonald and Seville. Actually, pro football goes all around Australia. And actually today it's going over to South Africa, to Johannesburg, to some people called Doug and Tula Fairchild. And I'm sure they'll enjoy this commentary and this call and this game here at the MCG in August in Melbourne. So the ball's bounced again. Williamson, Clark comes down the ground. Blakey nearly trapped by Jesse, does get it. Good play. Sends it back to the half-forward line, and Craig Smith leading out. He's got support from his teammate. No, it's Richard Geary, sorry, and Richard Geary, little chip across there for Michael Roach. But good play there from Ross Thornton. And the Fitzroy side sent out the back. Mark Dwyer, got a player this youngster's been. Flicks it over to Gary Pert. And Pert takes the ball. All Australian play. Oh, tell you what, no, play on. Good play by good umpiring there. Let the game go. So Pert flicks it over there to Loken, and Billy Loken sends up forward Richard Osborne, but it'll be offline, through from behind. So that'll take Fitzroy onto 2-14, 2-3-15. Trailing Richmond 3-1-19 at the 18-minute mark of the first quarter here at the MCG.
Now Richmond made a change just now, gone to full back on Richard Osborne, and what a prodigious torpedo right up into the centre square. The ball comes to ground. Geary gets a handball across to young Dale Waitman. I shouldn't say young, I was an old player when young Dale started. He's a very experienced player. and given the captaincy early on, really responded to that responsibility. Centre wing, Bowd paddles the ball in front, racing after it and trying to trap it there. Was Bolden, only a young player, started on interchange. Bench for Fitzroy. Rioli just didn't quite take the mark. Now the ball in the centre square. McIver in front of the General. It'll be an interesting battle here. McIver, small against the big, tall General. Blakey on the half-back flank. Fitzroy trying to set it up with running. Ruse fumbling at the wrong time there. The ball trap. Roach, Geary. Good tackle, John Blakey. Traps the ball. Barwick tries to shug to tackle. Now they're trying to set up the running play. Clayton across to Billy Loken. Now in towards no man's land. Who's leading in the race for the ball? Osborne did. Hogg coming through Dwyer. Can he trap it? No. The ball punched away. Osborne onto the right foot. Going goalward. Can he snap it over his shoulder? And well done. A very good mark, Michael Conlon. But you've also got to thank your teammate there in Darren Bolden. And Bolden just used his body at the critical time and shepherded, and the Richmond player well within his rights to appeal for a free kick, but the umpire believed that the ball was in the vicinity, a 10-metre vicinity, and you're able to shepherd if the ball is in that area. Now Conlon lining up for the third goal for Fitzroy. Shouldn't miss from here, surely. He hasn't. That's his second goal. And now the score has been taken. Fitzroy 3-3-21. Richmond 3-1-19. We've played 21 minutes of this first quarter, and that is Michael Conlon's second goal. He only kicked his first minutes earlier. Quickly recapping who the goal kickers are. Conlon has 2 for Fitzroy. Richard Osborne has 1 for Richmond. John Manton 2, playing at centre-half forward, and Mark Lee in the forward pocket has 1.
Well, Michael Conlon has been a prolific goal kicker since he's been at Fitzroy. He's kicked over 300 goals and is certainly a danger man. And I get a feeling today he could be a little bit of a problem to the Richmond side. Lee, he flicks it over the top. Coming down there, can he trap it? Coming through, good play there from Ross Thornton. Has one bounce. Oh, yes, he trapped it. And he sends it on the right foot up the full forward. Richard Osborne. That's the Hogg, and Hogg will get it away. Yes, he will. Oh, Osborne, good play, traps it. What's he done? Kicks it across the line, and the umpire says it'll be out of bounds in the forward pocket. Well,
it's interesting, just going, sorry to cut across you there. Mickey Conlon went over to young Osborne. Richard on and said, you should have handballed it to me. Well, it's interesting just to see the interreaction between the players, Ray.
Well, it's certainly an important thing, team play, Don, in big-time football.
Well, I mean, it is a team game. It's not an individual game. If you wanted to play an individual game, go and run, go and golf, tennis or whatever. But this is a team game, and so you've naturally enough, you've got to combine.
OK, thrown in. The ball comes out the back. Oh, could have been a free there. Says it'll be paid. Yes, to Michael Conlon, and I got a little feeling today that this fella's going to kick a bag.
Bit of experience coming in there too as Mick rushed through that pack there. It didn't hurt, but he knew he got one around the head, and he just accentuated the actual free and made the umpire notice him. Good play, Conlon.
Well, Michael's like the Melbourne weather, Donald. He's either good or bad, and today he could be good.
He has carried a few injuries. He's carried a few injuries this year, and very much a team-orientated player.
He's coming back, and I tell you what, no offline. One behind, so it puts Fitzroy on to 3-4-22. Richmond 3-1-19. 3 points in front. 23 minutes played. The pro football game here at the MCG between Richmond and Fitzroy.
Now young Jeff Hogg, now at full back. It's interesting who kicks out. They made the move of Jess earlier, and there he is, the man in question, Jimmy Jess at centre-half back. Jess, a high ball towards centre wing. Over the players' heads. Ruse couldn't trap it. McIver tried to find Conlon, an indirect kick. Now Conlon hasn't got anyone around. Mickey, what are you trying to do? He's trying to play the ground, and the ball goes over the boundary line. Maybe a couple of years ago Mick would have got away with that, but he's just lacking that little bit of speed at the moment. Maybe an injury, a problem. It just couldn't quite get away. Now the ball about 55 metres from the Fitzroy goal. Scott Clayton. He's trapped, and the umpire said, I'll have to ball that one up. Scott Clayton couldn't get the ball away. Grant Laurie on, Bolden off. Lee across to Waitman. Both boys originally from Mildura and played together at Melbourne High School. Ball now on the half-forward line, right half-forward line for Richmond. Nobody can get it out. In there is Dale Waitman. It's a real little gun is Dale Waitman, or Dale. Interesting stuff. Dale should have just controlled himself, and the umpire's right there. He's awarding the free kick. Going against Dale Waitman and going to Scott McIver. We all saw that, what happened. Now Scott McIver on centre wing with the ball. A real goer is Scott McIver, a very fit athlete. Trains particularly hard in pre-season. Handballs it across to Turner. Turner, the Western Australian, going in towards the half-forward line. In front, Jess. The ball plunged away. Well done, Craig McGrath. John Blakey traps now. Just 60 metres from goal. Chips it into Osborne. Can't find him. Could have gone long. Ball in dispute at the moment. Nobody can get it out. Loken in there, the South Australian, former South Australian. Players throwing themselves over the ball. Scrambly play at the moment. A quick kick out. Now it's set up. Running the ball is Mark Lee, the captain, out to Rioli. Morris not as fit as he'd like to be, I'm sure. Gets it onto the right foot, but he's a very, very skilled player. Twists it back. Hinchin in there. The ball trapped by Peake, and now Hinchin sets it up through running. Indirect, Pert, a very good body player is Gary Pert. That centre-half back goes long and high towards centre-half forward. Players fly and trying to bring down the mark. I thought he may have had it, was Craig McGrath. Now Craig Smith from Lalbert. Across to John Annear. A real gun is John Annear. Then Philip Walsh in towards the half-forward line, trying to take the mark. In front was Michael Roach and Tim Peakin. Picking up. Across to Paul Roos. Roos in turn, finding Dwyer. Will the umpire pay that? I think he will. And Dwyer in front on that occasion has been awarded the free kick or the mark.
Mark Dwyer on the half-back line sends the Fitzroy side to the centre wing. John Annear picks the ball up back to Jimmy Jess, and Annear takes the ball again. Been a good combination between him and Waitman this year. They both played very well, but the ball offline of there, and it'll be taken there by the Fitzroy side. In the back line there by, can you pick that player?
Graham Williamson, the ruckman, right?
Okay, Graham Williamson sends it down to the forward line. Oh, good mark there from Hogg. Great mark. Jeffrey Hogg in the back line to send the Tigers out and relieve the pressure. He's waiting for the hand pass. He's got it over there to Craig Smith, and Smith sends it up to the wing. A little pass, and they take them nicely there by the Richmond side, and he sends it up the half-forward line. Morris Rioli on the ground now to centre half-forward, and waiting at the back is Barry Rawlings on that familiar left foot. And I tell you what, he's put it through. He knows where the goals are, Barry Rawlings. Great goal, and that's Richmond's fourth. So Richmond move on a 4-1-25. Fitzroy 3-4-22. An entertaining game here at the MCG. Well into time on at the 28-minute mark of the first quarter. Well, Barry Rawlings, Don, you played with him for quite a few years in your career.
Good, very good clubman is Barry, former captain of the Richmond side. Weighted down, the ball came over the pack, and there was no one around, and Rawlings went in goalwards, uncontested, and there was really no pressure. It's good to see Barry playing, because this will definitely be his final year. A very fit athlete, could have played a lot of games, but started his career rather late. Now ball back in the centre, Williamson Lee. Williamson goes just that little earlier. Ball comes down, quick kick out. Conlon in front, Bowyer behind. Can't get his kick. Waitman in there, shoots that familiar handball out. David Palm, a high ball. Half-forward flank, and a pack fly. Manton was up very, very high there. Couldn't control it, and it just beat Mark Eustace over the boundary line with Tim Peakin in hot pursuit. Now the ball, right forward flank for the Richmond side. They're leading by 3 points. We're into time on. Well done. Simon Clark over the back, trying to open up play. Ball in dispute on the 50-metre line. Eustace can't control it, realising there could have been a little pressure. It could have steadied just for that fraction, as there was no one around, and could have picked it up. But there must be a little bit of pressure out there, because Eustace could have picked that up normally. But he fumbled, and now the ball right, I'd say, what, 55 metres from goal. Manton punched it to no one's land. Roos leading the race to the ball. A quick kick. Pressure coming from Michael Roach. Now the ball at the centre half forward position. Who can trap it? Richmond do. Through a near, a good left-hand ball. Now high ball in towards the goal square. And in front and taking the mark. No, not paid. I thought that would be paid to Gary Pert. Now it's centre-half back. Coming through is Eustace. Onto that left footer. It's not the classic kick as the first quarter finishes. And we find the end of the first quarter. Richmond 4-1-25. Leading Fitzroy 3-4-22. Umpire about to get this second quarter underway. 15 degrees here in Melbourne. A beautiful day for spectators, but not so good if you're playing because a little glary. Players rather play in an overcast day because the ball, when it is in the air, is a little hard to judge. The ball at Fitzroy's centre-half forward position. A high kick by Blakey. Behind there, Osborne has the punch ball brought down to ground by Hogg. And off the ground, well done, Richard Osborne. And can they kick it? No, they haven't. Desperate play by the Fitzroy forwards there. And good play by Richard Osborne. Not usually noted for the other side of his game. He's a very offensive player, not such a good defensive player. Philip Walsh taking easy mark in the shadows of the members. Plays on, goes onto his right foot. Morris Rioli goes through the pack. It opened up for him. Scott Clayton in hot pursuit. A little chip to Roach. Roach hasn't had a kick. Lee by himself. A handball. Set it up. Rioli butters up. Came off into change bench. A quick handball by Waitman. Back to Waitman. The 1-2. Lee Waitman. Bowyer. A high ball and taking an easy mark. Mantono obviously touched off the boot there. And rushed through for another point. I'd like to welcome my fellow commentator. Very rude of me not to introduce him earlier in the game, Ray White.
Thanks very much, Don. As Gary Pert, father Brian Pert, played for Fitzroy in the 50s. As the ball comes out the back, and control there from Mark Eustace, the ex-Essendon player. Sends it up in the air. Oh, nice mark there. Well, not a nice mark, but he was there at the right place at the right time. And Brendan Bauer, about 40 metres out, directly in front. So I don't think distance will be a problem. Accuracy will be the only thing that will concern him. So Brendan Bauer, been a good player this year for the Tigers. As he kicked it, I think he's offline. So he's through for behind. Well, should have kicked that, actually, I feel. But anyway, the Tigers go on to 4-3-27. Richmond, Fitzroy 3-5-23. And a close game here at the MCG. 2 minutes only played in the second quarter. So Pert sends it out to centre-half back. Going to be taken there by Eustace. Can't be. Trapped there by from Waitman. The handball working again to Morris Rioli. He flicks it over. Back to Waitman. What's he done? Great play, Dale Waitman. Good football. And that's Rioli's goal. Good play there from Morris Rioli. Still got the skills, as Don said, may not be as fit as he should be, but the skills, you can never raise those. So Richmond go on to 5-3-33. Richmond 3-5-23 at the 3-minute mark of the second quarter here at the MCG.
Well set up. Waitman originally across to Rioli, and Rioli across to Rawlings. Well run, and that's Barry Rawlings' second goal. Free kick in the centre square. It's going Richmond's way. Obviously somebody infringed from the Fitzroy team, and the kick taken by the big ruckman, Simon Clark. Roach. Michael Roach. That's the first time we've seen Michael Roach today. And Roach has 59 goals this year. A career total, quick addition, 544. Can this be 545? He's only 45 metres out from goal. The angle about 45 degrees, lining up deliberately. I think he's hooked that one. It didn't look too good off the boot, and the umpire agrees. Another point. So that takes Richmond further ahead. 5-4-34. Fitzroy 3-5-23. We've played nearly 4 minutes of this second quarter. Gary Pert, the torpedo. Not a good one off the boot. It's a shocker. And luckily fell into the arms of Scott McIver. Now Scott looking to play on. He does so. Pert. Well done, Gary Pert. Way down from full-back. Tries to set up the running game. The ball now with young Dwyer. Can he trap it? No, paddles it on. Good play. Doug Barwick goes goalward. What has he done? Should have deserved the goal because that was really good play by the young Fitzroy player in Mark Dwyer. He was only playing his fourth game. Actually, in his first game, he was best on the ground. I saw him in his second game. Played an excellent first half. Played well last week, and again is playing well so far. Graham Landy at the full-back position. They've had a number of players kick out today. Richmond, it's a high ball. Comes to ground. Hinchin trying to break the tackle. He does. Barry Rawlings intercepts onto the right foot. And in front, Billy Loken stood his ground despite Richard Geary just arriving a little late on the scene. Hinchin. High ball. Looking for no one. Let's hope. No. Richard Osborne, I was hoping to take that. Barry Rawlings skirting the pack very well in towards centre half back. And Simon Clark takes an easy mark. Plays on quickly. A high ball under extreme pressure there. Geary. Centre half forward. Roach leading out and has taken another mark. So Michael Roach, realising he was just that little bit far, wanted to play on, no one at home, so he decided to take his time. Experience coming to the fore now on the 50-metre line. It's a Noddick. He's kicking. Well, it's not the best for Michael Roach. A quick snap. Another goal. Kicked by Craig Smith. Smith, originally named on the half-back line, has kicked Richmond's sixth goal. Richmond 6-4-40, getting away from Fitzroy, 3-6-24.
Yeah, well, Michael Roach in the seconds a couple of weeks ago being dropped from the side, and he's certainly trying very hard today to get into this game, because a very good goal kicker for the Tigers, and when he plays well, the Richmond side
It's interesting
play
to
well.
note a player who's got confidence. Obviously, Michael Roach hasn't got the confidence. We haven't seen him. He's come into the game, had 2 kicks, but when he has actually kicked the ball, Ray, they've been a little skew whiff off his foot, and that's just a confidence thing.
That's right, Don, as Manton takes the kick out from the centre at the 50-metre mark. So John Manton has done well today. Has got 2 goals. He's kicked 2 goals for the Tigers. He's said to his captain, I'll have a go. Nobody chips a little pass in. Good play. And I think you'll find Michael Pickering will come across and take the mark. Bad back play there from
Well,
Fitzroy,
actually, it's
Don.
an experienced play. Not young. Michael Reeves, who started at North Melbourne, is in the ruck. Now, a ruckman has just got to drop into that hole. There's always a hole, and Pickering dropped into that proverbial hole. That was where the ruckman should have been. Now, Reeves, inexperienced, didn't know as Michael Pickering lines up. He's kicked another point. And it'll be an interesting battle there in the ruck now that Michael Reeves is on, because Fitzroy haven't a recognised ruckman as such. And so it'll be a little bit like a contest between the boxer and the fighter.
Okay.
Doug Barwick by himself. No one in sight. 1-2 bounces. Now goes with a little chip towards centre half forward. Could have gone long. Would have been advisable to go long. Jess coming through. Plays the ball in front. Traps. Handball back. Anea. They're setting it up well, Richmond. Waitman, what's he going to do? Handball? No. Yes, he does. Customary from Waitman. Walsh. Across to Geary. Now they're setting it up, the Tigers. Oh, what a shocking kick off the boot, Richard Geary. You let some good play go by there. Manton. Can't trap the ball. He does. Now eludes. Looking for the handball. Well intercepted, Paul Roos. 1 bounce. Now a chip on the left foot. Finds Blakey. And John Blakey wanting to play on, but steadies down.
Okay, John Blakey, formerly from East Doncaster, and a good player this year, kicks it down there. Michael Conlon, the strength player of the Fitzroy side, gets the hand pass over his teammate, and coming across, and be a mark there to Fitzroy. Will be paid. He's trying to pick that player up there, Donald. It's
Craig McGrath.
Yes, Craig McGrath, 35.
Interesting.
So he's the 50-metre mark.
It's interesting
Don.
behind play. David Palm giving a lot of instructions to the water carrier. Obviously messages going back to the coach, Tony Jewell, as Craig McGrath lines up.
And it's a behind. So Fitzroy struggling a little bit, I feel. 3-7-25. Richmond 6-5-41. And I think all the Tigers have controlled this game so far as the ball comes out. And number 31, Brendan Bower, takes the mark, kicks it on the left foot, sends it down to the wing. Morris Rioli, always a danger player. The skills are always there. Little flick, but not well played. And I think you'll find, yes, it'll be a mark there, or a free to Dean Turner of the Fitzroy side on the just over the centre line. He kicks it across. He finds his Bill Loken teammate, and Bill kicks a hand pass to John Blakey. Blakey's got the leading Doug Barwick. Can he take it? Yes, he's trapped it. Handballs it over. Graham Hinchin, hand pass over there to Michael Reeves. Reeves does the hand pass over there, and it's taken away from Bernie Harris. What's he done? I think he has kicked a goal, Bernie Harris. A good play there from Fitzroy. They control that ball. Richmond really didn't get amongst it then, so that takes Fitzroy on to their 4th goal, 4-7-31, trailing Richmond 6-5-41, 10 minutes played in the second quarter here at the MCG.
Well, it's young Bernie Harris's first goal there. The ball originally trapped there by Doug Barwick. Set up by Hinchin through a handball, and then Reeves. And this is the value of Michael Reeves. He is able to be used around the ground, whereas his opposite number, the big ruckman like Simon Clark, hasn't quite got the mobility. But Simon Clark will definitely win this hit out, as he does. But Reeves' ability is around the ground. Quick kick, John Manton. Now Manton across to Geary. A chip from Geary. Roach leading well. And doing all right in this second quarter. Doing very well, in fact. I should pay that compliment. He's been in front. He has attacked the ball. Now let's hope that Michael can drop the ball with a little more confidence onto the boot. He's had 2 kicks of the ball so far, and both of them haven't been too good off the boot. Sign of lack of confidence. He's lining up. He's well within kicking range. There's a better kick off the boot, and he's kicked it. That's the 7th goal. Michael Roach's first. And Richmond, well, they go further ahead. They are 7-5-47. Fitzroy 4-7-31, and we've played 11 minutes of this second quarter.
Okay, the main goal kickers for the Tigers, John Manton 2 and Barry Rawlings 2, with Michael Roach, Lee and Smith have kicked 1 each. And for the Fitzroy side, we've got Michael Conlon 2, Osborne 1, and Bernie Harris 1. So umpire back in the centre of the MCG. And the ball's bounce. A very firm turf. A good day for football. Michael Reeves. He handballs it, not really to anybody, but Graham Hinchin traps it out the back. Good play there from Johnny Anea, but they've got a chance to redeem themselves as Billy Logan. Oh, Michael Reeves, but that was in the play. So the Tigers go forward, but Gore could have been a mark or a free kick to Thornton. Rioli, but picked up again by Logan, and Logan on the left foot. What's he done with it? He hasn't really kicked it well. The hand pass. Rawlings, taken by Waitman, not to anyone in particular. Johnny Manton back to Mark Eustace. Eustace, can you straighten up? Take your time. And no, what have you done, Mark? He's kicked it behind. Bad luck, son. But good play there from the Tigers. They had the control of the ball. So Richmond 48, Fitzroy 31. And they're holding a 17-point lead here at the 12-minute mark of the second quarter.
Now Pert, Gary Pert, kicking out for Fitzroy. Well, will that beat Roos over the line? No, it doesn't. Paul Roos traps it. Then goes towards the centre of the ground. No one there. Craig McGrath. Well done, Craig. Michael Conlon in there fighting. Can't get away. Coming through strongly with David Palm. Now with Bowyer. And a good mark. No, not taken there. Yes, I thought it could have been a mark. And the umpire agreed. Craig Smith falling to the ground. Spilled the ball as he went to ground. But the umpire said, I'll pay the mark. Now a 15-metre penalty. But Smith decides to play on quickly. Roach now onto the left foot. Goes goalward. No, he centres the ball. Good play, Michael Roach. The pack gathers. Comes to ground. Oh, well done, Ross Thornton. Good handball. Over to Reeves. Now they got the ball running, Fitzroy. 1 bounce from Doug Barwick. 2 bounces being shepherded there by Tim Pekin. Now he goes long over the head of the pack. No, it didn't bounce properly for Richard Osborne. And Conlon just can't get on the scene, Michael Conlon. As the ball goes over the boundary line, the ball to be thrown in on the right forward pocket for the Fitzroy team. They're trailing by 17 points. We've played 13.5-minute mark. 13.5 minutes of this quarter. One player on screen there, Bowyer. I think it's Bauer. I remember an old singer called Brendan Bowyer and the Hucklebuck, Ray, and that's going back quite a few years, but I'll try and not get that name confused. It's Bauer.
Don, you told me you're 31. You're giving your wage away. You've got to be 43 if you knew that.
No, I was around in the mid-60s, Ray.
Well, here's another fella that was not around the mid-60s, Jim Jess, but was around the mid-70s as he kicks the ball out. Not a good kick, but Richard Geary, but good punched away there from the big fella from the Fitzroy. Comes down to Billy Loken on the 50-metre line. He does a little pass. What's he done? Oh, good mark, Jeffrey Hogg. And Hogg kicks the ball out for the Tigers. Punch at the back. There's Johnny Blakey. He's certainly not from on the bus as he gets the ball and sends it down there to the 15-metre mark. Picked up nicely there from Williamson. He's kicked it high in the air, but I think you'll find Jimmy Jess will take the mark. Oh, Jim Jess. But he's got time to control it. Gets it over to Graham Landy. 2 experienced players, and he sends it down there to the centre wing. And Philip Walsh, the ex-Collingwood player, over to Dale Waitman. Not a good hand pass, but he gets out of it. And coming across to take the ball there is Hogg, who's playing a good game in the back line. Sends it down to Michael Roach, but he's got too many personnel from Fitzroy. Coming through is Blakey. He handballs to Pert, and Pert sends it down there, but there's no one there for the Fitzroy side. It bounces amongst, Barwick. It's got to be a free kick. The umpire says no. Good play there from Anir. Over to Mark Eustace. Eustace the hand pass. As he got Craig Smith, and Smith on the half-forward line, having another go for the goals. Up to Lee, over the back. Fitzroy can get out of trouble here through Mark Dwyer. Dwyer picks the ball up on the half-back line. Good play there. Over to Ross Thornton. Back over there, picked up by Dean Turner. Turner and Michael Conlon, but Richmond will come out, but it's after the play. I think you'll find that the umpire will play a free kick here down the ground, and it was very unusual that the Richmond player had control of the ball. So it's coming back to the centre wing, and the Richmond player down there on the ground trying to pick him up. I think you'll find that looks like a big Simon Clark. And the big young fella who's a very good prospect, Simon Clark.
Well, there's two players out there injured. Doug Barwick looks like he's done his ankle, and Simon Clark doesn't look too good for Richmond.
Might have a headache, Don, but anyway.
Now, Simon, he stubbed his toe.
Must work part-time for the Melbourne Underground on that one, Don.
Well, if you've ever done one of those kicks, Ray, they certainly hurt, because you put just at the critical time,
he must
put
be hurt,
all
Don.
the power into the ball and you stub your toe. Now, he's not too good.
No, he's not, Don.
Not too good. I think they'll have to make a change there.
I think the
He's obviously hurt, and
the sales rep from Panadol should give him a ring at the moment. He's got a headache.
now Pickering, centre, gets the ball away despite the duress. Geary can't get, yes, now Geary in pursuit. Laurie coming through as Anir. John Anir can't control it. Goes to ground, now looking for the handball. No, trap, well done, Grant Laurie. John Blakey, now he'll get away. No Richmond player around, and John hasn't got any assistance. Now in towards the centre. Hinchin, back to Blakey, now an overlap. High kick, centre half forward and just behind, can't trap the ball. Barwick, onto the right foot goes Goldwood, but a little indirect, and another point. So they creep a point closer, Fitzroy. Richmond 7-6-48, and Fitzroy 4-9-33. Simon Clark coming off the ground, and he's being replaced by Dean Notting. So Simon going to recover after that clash, or that injury, head injury, in that let's hope he's all right anyway, in the centre of the ground. Now the ball with Ross Thornton. Thornton gets the ball away, tries to. A good tackle there by Johnny Anir. He's a real gun, John Anir, an important player in the Richmond side.
Well, he certainly is, Don, because every time we've seen Richmond play this year, Anir and Waitman have certainly been the key players in the Richmond side. They're the moving players. There's the bounce. Lee, not doing as much ruck, but he'll have to be now that young Simon Clark's off the ground, as Bill Loken traps the ball and kicks it over there, and it's taken there from Grant Laurie, and speeding away there. Good play there from the Fitzroy player, but he can't get it, but he gets to the Barwick this time. Barwick on the left foot. It's got to be marked there from, I will pick that player up at the moment.
I think it's Bernie Harris.
Yes, Bernie Harris has kicked one goal already. An important goal for Fitzroy, because I feel Richmond are controlling this game, Don, at the moment. Even
well,
though
you never know in this type of
points.
game. You know, a team could have a 15-point advantage, as they've got now, and the game will turn immediately. And if he kicks straight, it could be a 9-point advantage, and it is a 9-point advantage. And that's Bernie Harris's second goal. He's kicked both of them in this quarter, and Fitzroy creep a little closer. However, Richmond are 7-6-48, and Fitzroy 5-9-39, and we've played 19 minutes of this second quarter. That goal set up originally by Hinchin. Barwick onto the left foot. It was a high ball and screwed it back, and Bernie Harris just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Judged the ball to perfection. Now the umpire's about to get this game underway again. A little bit of crisscrossing. Game held up momentarily. Lee in the ruck now against Michael Reeves. Simon Clark off the ground. Lee should have got it, and he does. Turner can't get the ball away. The ball in dispute. Waitman, that customary handball. Lee, a high ball. Ruse behind Manton, used his body. Well done, John Manton, but Pert in front. Oh, what bad luck. Goes to ground. Picked up by Smith. Smith, a hurried kick. Pekin, now they've got it running through Laurie, across to Clayton. Scott Clayton on the centre wing. Conlon, oh, Michael, you haven't got a left hand. Anea, nobody's kicked the ball. When are they going to kick it? Over the head. There was one. Pekin, now a handball. One handball. Two handballs. Three handballs. Four handballs. Five handballs. And out of bounds. Unbelievable stuff. Five handballs and not one kick. And Michael Conlon goes to ground. A little unfortunate to receive a head-high tackle there. And the ball to be thrown in on centre wing. Reeves. The crowd very vocal about that. They believe that Michael should have received the free kick. Well, they're well in their role. Oh, Bernie Harris let one go then. That game heating up a little bit. Oh, and behind play, there is a Richmond player down. And that's Barry Rawlings. Well, Barry, you got to cop then. You handed one out earlier, and you got to cop the evener upper. And that was the evener upper for Barry Rawlings. However, the free kick going Fitzroy's way, and this is what umpires will do if there is a dispute. They'll break up play by awarding the first free kick they can, and Barry's showing his disgust there. Quite funny. Because Barry can hand out as many as he can give. Now the ball in at centre half forward and taking a good mark, Michael Pickering. Usually up forward, Michael, but now it's centre half back. Rawlings, not Rioli. High ball punched by Manton. Now they try and set it up with it. Running. Dean Turner up to the half forward flank. Ball comes to ground. Bauer. Palm along the ground. And I wonder, a few words there between David Palm and his opposite number from Fitzroy. Bernie Harris, and the ball to be thrown in on the 50-metre line. Mark Lee and Craig McGrath. There's experience for you through Mark Lee, the way he used his body to get Craig McGrath out of the raid. Graham Landy in there. Ross Thornton, a real goer and captain today, seeing that Matt Randell's not playing, in towards centre half forward. Jimmy Jess. Jess onto the left foot. Not a good kick, Jim. Play now in dispute. Picking it up, Richard Osborne. Well out from full forward. Chips it into centre half forward. Hold, and Graham Hinchin holds up.
Well, Graham Hinchin, certainly a versatile player in the Fitzroy side, named in the back pocket, but a mobile type of player that can ruck rove or play on the half-forward line. And here we find him just over the 50-metre mark. I don't know what his kicking distance is like, but he's directly in front. He kicks it high. I don't think he'll make it. Could have been a mark there to the Fitzroy side, but good play, Bowyer. He gets the ball out for the Tigers. Philip Walsh, who's playing a very good game on young Walsh, kicks it down to the centre wing, and no one can trap the ball again. Eustace, who's always busy but hasn't had control of the ball today, and I think you'll find the umpire will decide on the ball up, and the boys having a little bit of push and shove again. But I think you'll find it'll be a little bit harmless. As you call it, Don, the football waltz. Is that right?
Yes, Ray, but I don't think they were waltzing when you're on the ground like that. That was Tim Pekin and Mark Eustace.
Tunnel ball. Anyway, the umpire's got the ball. He's going to bounce it. There's 23 minutes gone. Richmond 48, Fitzroy 39. Lee on the in the ball now as the ball kicked out by Dean Turner. Goes over the back. No one can get a Barwick. And coming through and taking it there is Bernie Harris. He's kicking it across there. Here's the versatile Graham Hinchin. Can he trap the ball? He gets around Rawlings. He shoots it on the right foot. What's he done? I think you'll find it'll roll through.
Oh.
No, it could have been. It's a goal. Great goal there, Graham Hinchin. Good play there. And Fitzroy coming back into this game. That's their sixth goal. 6-9-45, trailing Richmond 7-6-48. And he's a busy player down forward at the moment, Graham Hinchin.
Well, he's a very, very courageous player, and he showed a good turn of speed there. As Barry Rawlings is also quite fleet of foot. Got away from Rawlings with a sharp turn onto the right foot, then snapped goalward. I thought it may have been touched, but it wasn't. It's good to see Hinchin rewarded for his work around the ground.
Actually, it was good shepherding, I felt, from Osborne there too, Don.
Ball in the centre. Oh, what's... Yes, Graham Williamson jumping that little earlier into Mark Lee, and the umpire's well aware now that players are doing this. Now Lee, right in the centre of the ground, goes high. Manton in front, can't bring the ball down, trapped there by Geary. Geary going goalward. And the ball floats across the face of the goal for another point. And Richmond go 4 points in front. They're now 7-7-49. Fitzroy 6-9-45.
Well, Gary Pert to kick it out. The standard of the game hasn't reached the dizzy heights, but at least it's close, and that's entertaining for the crowd as it comes out. And Scott McIver, yes, good mark. Hand pass. He gets it over there, picked up by Turner, and Turner sends it through the centre, looking for Richard Osborne. He can't trap it. Conlon, but good play there from John Annear. He gets the hand pass across a little bit loosely, but then he gets it over, and we'll find Philip Walsh take it one hand, mate, and the ball will go over the line and out of bounds about the 60-metre mark in the Richmond forward line, and sorry, in the Fitzroy forward line, which the Roys are kicking to the left of the screen. Lee and Williamson. Comes down to Graham Landy, an experienced player. Oh, good play there. Should have been a free to Walsh, but not played by the umpire. And Scott Clayton gets the flick over to Dwyer. And here's a sensational footballer who's only been around for 4 weeks, Doug Barwick. What's he done? Oh, Richard Osborne could have been paid there. Blakey in to help. The umpire were balling up, but could have been nearly a mark there to Richard Osborne, Don.
Yes. Well,
Close.
This is the beauty of this game, Ray, is the fact that everybody is the umpire. There is no real hard and fast rule about football, and that's why so many people get a lot of enjoyment from it. Now the ball only 20 metres out from goal. McGrath. The umpire actually got in the road there of Mark Lee. Bauer. Clears. Dwyer leading in the race for the ball. Trapped? No. Just couldn't quite trap it before it went over the boundary line. And the ball to be thrown in 60 metres from the Fitzroy goal. Fitzroy kicking to the left of the right of our screen, and doing the ruck work will be Craig McGrath and Mark Lee. Lee in front. Conlon using strength to try and break through that pack. Well trapped, Craig McGrath trying to get it out. Going in, Dale Whiteman. He'll get a handball away. Willie. He goes for a bounce. One bounce. Now goes for the kick towards centre half forward. Rioli in there has it punched away. Geary over to Bauer. Off the half-back flank is Bauer. Another handball, setting it up to Manton. Then another running player. Geary just tumbled at the crucial moment and just couldn't get away. As the ball now in dispute. Rawlings. Barry lifts the head, now goes long towards centre half forward. Coming out and having the slit, Williamson. I thought he had his name written over that ball, but he traps it. And actually, Graham, when he flew then, got into the back of his teammate. And Ross Thornton is not too good, as we can see on screen. And they certainly hurt when a fellow's coming full ball with the knee bared. And get you fair in the shoulder blade, it'll hurt. Well done, Graham Williamson. Good stuff. Gets it to ground. Geary breaking through, goes goalward. We'll wait. Another point. So the Tigers go another point forward. They're now 5 points in front, 7-8-50. Fitzroy 6-9-45, and we're into time on. We've actually played 28 minutes of this second quarter.
Gary Pert to kick out. Richmond don't have, well, they don't seem to be have much direction down forward in the last, especially this quarter, as Manton couldn't get the mark there. Geary, is this going to be a goal from Mark Eustace? But once again, they're offline, Richmond, and they're a little bit lackadaisical in their attempt and their efforts when they come down to the half-forward line. They're not controlling the direction of their kicks, and it's keeping Fitzroy in this game. So Richmond 51, Fitzroy 45, 28 and a half minutes. It comes out, punched on by Hinchin. A good play today, but good play there from Bowyer. Can he get Geary? Geary's not a very good direction for goal, but he's trying to get the ball. The umpire says play on. Don't wait for the free kick, son, as Williamson sends it out the back. And he's kicked it out there. Oh, good mark there, taken by Paul Roos. The long hand pass. Barwick kicks it up to the full forward line. What's he got? Osborne punched away at the back, and Richmond come out through Philip Walsh. He traps it in the centre of the MCG. The captain, Mark Lee, takes the mark onto the right foot. He'll be looking for Roach. Can he take it, Michael Roach? Good mark, Michael Roach. That's what they need, Richmond. Roach to lead out. Leave the forward line open, and this fellow will do the rest. So 40 metres out, Michael Roach. Should kick this. An experienced goal kicker. As Don said earlier, has kicked 544 odd goals in his career. 59 to the 86 season. And this should be another goal for this year to make his 61st goal. Because he's kicked one already. Kicks it Stabs at it again, and he's offline.
Actually, when he does kick the ball, he is kicking with just a bent knee. He should be following through and hitting the ball much harder off the boot. He's trying to guide the ball through instead of kicking through the ball. Anyway, the ball now with Grant Laurie at full back. He kicks in. It's anyone's guess who kicks in. And taking a strong mark, Scott McIver. He'll always hold his ground. Plays on quickly. Dean Turner. Now Turner going long towards the Fitzroy fan, taking a good mark. Jimmy Jess. Oh, Jimmy, knock that stuff off, son. You can have the ball taken off you. Trying to upset Craig McGrath then, but that a little bit of experience. Another 15-metre penalty, so that takes him right on the edge of the square. Now Jess, a long high torpedo. The ball in the pack, comes to ground right. Oh, and well kicked. No point. I thought he kicked it then, Dale Waitman. And he's unhappy. You can see the expression on his face just as he kicked the ball. So they go another point ahead. Richmond, 7-11-53. Fitzroy, 6-9-45. It was experienced by Jim Jess there. He took the mark, tried to ruffle up Craig McGrath on the ground. McGrath retaliated, 30-metre penalty, and nearly a goal for Richmond. Now the ball on. What a nice kick right up towards the centre. That it was a magnificent kick by Gary Pert. McGrath now has the ball on his left foot and finds his opposite number in Jimmy Jess. Jess playing well behind. Now the ball out into no man's land. Graham Hinchin leading for the ball, but the siren goes to end this first half, and Richmond are in front. There is 7-11-53. Fitzroy, 6-9-45.
You want to be a real footballer? I mean a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark. The VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at leading stores. Real footy gear, real footy accessories, real footy supporters gear too, in all club colours and badges. Go for the VFL mark at leading stores.
About to get this quarter underway at the MCG. The umpires for today's game are umpire McDonald and umpire Saville. Lee and Ruck, obviously Simon Clark's still injured. We'll try and pick him up. He is. He clashed rather heavily. He usually starts on the ball, Simon, but clashed heavily in that second quarter and is off the ground. Now the ball with young Mark Dwyer going goalward. Not a good kick off the boot. Over the player's head. Richard Osborne, can he get there? Yes, he does. He traps it. Good play, Richard. Brings it back towards the centre, but didn't find anyone. Jeff Hock going to ground. Playing safety first football. Michael Pickering up on the back line. Now on the 50-metre line. Fitzroy's 50-metre line, and Smith clearing. Rioli in front. Now into the shadows of the members. Hinchin. Graham goes to ground. Barry Rawlings on the right foot. A quick kick up to the full forward position. The ball to ground. Manton and also Paul Roos push the ball over the boundary line, and the ball to be thrown in Richmond's right forward pocket. Richmond 7-11-53. Fitzroy 6-9-45. Williamson, Manton. Anea, handball. Indirect though to Barry Rawlings. Rawlings keeping his eye on the ball. And coming the opposite way was Grant Laurie. However, cleared through Graham Hinchin, and he finds Doug Barwick. Doug Barwick in the shadows. Now a long kick in towards centre half forward. No one home. Bernie Harris. Can the ball stop? It doesn't. It favours David Palm. Palm now with Eustace. High ball. Williamson can't take the mark. Ball to ground. Players struggling. Waitman using speed. Ducks, turns, goes onto the right foot. It's a high ball, but to no one in particular. And will it beat the players over the boundary line? It has. And Dean Notting just getting to the ball as it went over the boundary line. And again, the ball to be thrown in on the right forward flank, Richmond's right forward flank. Williamson and Manton doing the ruck work. Williamson in front, Manton. Well done, Graham Williamson. Brings the ball to ground. Just a little indirect in his palming there. Tried to get it to Graham Hinchin, but it beat Hinchin over the boundary line. And again, to be thrown in more or less the same position as what it was just some 5-10 seconds earlier.
Thrown in again, and an 8-point advantage to the Tigers as Barry Rawlings, the experienced Barry Rawlings, sends it up the full forward, but Paul Roos should trap the ball. He didn't take the mark well, and Michael Roach is working hard. Gets over John Anea, left foot, 50-metre mark. What's he done? He's chipped it over there to Michael Rioli, and Morris Rioli just couldn't take the ball, and it'll go over the line and out of bounds. Well, a pretty even second quarter with the Tigers kicking 2-8 to Fitzroy 3-5. So this game can be won by either side at the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. So it can be won from here as the ball comes out from the back from Fitzroy. And taking it there is number 24 for the Fitzroy side is Tim Pekin. And he sends it down the hand pass over there to Gary Pert. He couldn't trap it, but he good play there. A good experienced play. Kicks off the ground. Richard Geary, so it's been caught. Bill Loken, the hand pass. He over the top there, and Dean Turner in the centre. Sends it down to centre half forward, but a good mark then from Bowyer at the centre half back to relieve the pressure. Does the hand pass, and Craig Smith back to the half back line. Sends it up there, but not a good kick. A very bad kick, actually, because number 51, Dean Notting, had time to get the ball. It had been placed better, but it beats him over the line and out of bounds on the half forward line. So Richmond kicking to the right of the screen, and the Tigers 53, Fitzroy 45. It's thrown in. No advantage. Manton out the back. Craig Smith flicks over the back. Loken working hard. Scotty McIver for the ex-Tasmanian. Handballs it and gets it back out there. But he's playing a good game today, Jim Jess. And the experienced Jimmy Jess sends the Tigers back. What's he done? Mark Lee. Oh, it could have been around the neck, but it's going to be a mark paid to the captain, Mark Lee, in the centre of the MCG.
Well, Grant Laurie a little bit late on the scene there. And it gave the free kick away, but Mark Lee took the mark. Now the ball right on that 50-metre line, and the players throw themselves on it. And the umpire really hasn't got much alternative when that situation does develop, but come in and ball it up. Peeling himself off the ball is Johnny Manton. Now he'll contest this ruck play with Graham Williamson. Both good jumpers. Both stick the feet out. Well done, Graham Williamson. Got it to the ground. And the umpire picked out a free kick, more or less to break open play. Scott Clayton, handball. Over to Grant Laurie. Now Laurie onto the left foot. A very skilled player is Grant Laurie. But just pushed on kicking the ball by Barry Rawlings. And that forced the ball to go over the boundary line. So it's good defensive play by Rawlings. Now the ball on Richmond's or Fitzroy's left forward flank. Mark Lee, you can see the strength there against young Craig McGrath. Breaking through was Graham Land. He couldn't get it away. Jimmy Jess does so with a handball. It's a high one. And as it kept in play, no, I thought Craig Smith would keep that in play, but he didn't. And the ball to be thrown in again. But this time on the centre wing. Just in front of the interchange bench. Bolden's on the ground. Laurie's off with an injured hand. Richard Geary there, prominent in the first half. And Dean Turner offering a little assistance, or resistance should I say, to Geary. And both of them forced the ball over the boundary line.
Well, thrown in again by the boundary umpire. Williamson, Lee, is doing the ruck work since Clark went off the ground in the second quarter. Waitman, I think you'll find the umpire will pay a free kick there. And the Richmond player, or no, he's decided on the ball up. David Palm felt he should get it, and I kind of agree with him, actually. But anyway, bounced again by the umpire. Williamson on his own, flicks it over. Taken there by Palm. He sends it forward. What can Roach do? It's punched away from the back by Pert. Rioli couldn't trap it. And coming down to work it hard as Manton. Over to Mark Eustace. Been busy, but he hasn't controlled it. But Barry Rawlings, Barry offline. One behind. Bad luck, Barry, and that takes Richmond still in front and haven't lost the lead since the start of the game to 7-12-54 to Fitzroy 6-9-45. A close game, not a high-standing game, but a close, entertaining game here at the MCG on the pro football circuit as it's kicked out long. Roos could have marked it, but he didn't get it. Here he is again, Eustace. Gets the ball a lot. What's he done? Roach, kicked off well by Pert and goes to the half-back line, but trapped there by Notting. Sits in, bad kick, son. He'll kick that over the line out of bounds. The effort was there to Rioli, but it was not a good kick. So you'll find Ross Thornton to relieve the pressure at the 7-minute mark, finding Richmond 54, leading Fitzroy 45.
It's a long kick by Thornton. Manton in front there. The ball punched on by Fitzroy. Dwyer across to Pekin. Pekin looking further down the ground, and Bauer in front. Good play. in front of Michael Conlon, and he takes a good high mark. Bauer shielding his eyes from the sun. It's a good day for spectators, but not such a good day for players, as we see there. Evidence that Bauer had to put his hands up to protect his eyes from the sun. Jimmy Jess, centre half back, takes that chest mark, then plays on quickly, and who's he found? Geary, and Geary in turn goes long towards centre half forward. This is undisciplined play by the Fitzroy backmen as they're letting players get away from themselves, and Dale Waitman had no one in Cooey, and he took that easy chest mark. Now Waitman, undecided as to what to do, was going to play on, waiting for the lead from Roach. It came, but that right lead was covered. Now Waitman has got no alternative but to go long. It's a high ball right into that goal square. Actually, it's faded to the left for another point. So at the 8.5 minute mark, Richmond a 10-point advantage there, 7-13-55. Fitzroy 6-9-45.
A busy player, Dale Waitman's had 8 kicks, and once again, as he normally does for the Tigers, has played very well. Gary Pert sends the Fitzroy side out the back. Manton goes over the back. It's taken there beautifully over to Logan, and the Fitzroy side stream forward. Has he got Osborne? Can he turn around? Hogg coming in as Jess, who's played well. But the supporters, McGrath, the hand pass, back over the top, coming through as the danger man, Conlon. He loves these goals, Michael Conlon. Left foot, strength, great play, and Fitzroy have just about tied this game up. 7-13-55 Richmond, 7-9-51 Fitzroy. Well, four points behind, but I think Fitzroy have worked a little bit harder since quarter time, and Richmond seem to be struggling down forward.
And that was good play by Michael Conlon there. The ball trapped by McGrath, a good handball back, centred it. Conlon, who has blood streaming from his mouth, got the trip, then went onto the left foot and snapped for goal. And that's his third goal. He kicked 2 early on in the first quarter, and that was his third. Eustace with the ball right in the centre. Goes towards centre half forward. Wasn't a good kick, and that found Paul Roos. Now Roos has a running Pert. Well in front of, well done Michael Roach. At least the endeavour was there to chase. And Pert kicks it up towards Dwyer. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. An untidy looking player is Mark Dwyer. Socks down, but that doesn't mean you're not effective, and he's a very good player. Doesn't matter how you look, as long as you get that ball and do something with it. Blakey in turn across to Bernie Harris onto that left foot. And taking a mark is Michael Pickering, who normally plays up forward. Now at centre half back, goes onto that right foot, left foot I should say. It wasn't a good, shocking kick actually. And Graham Williamson, the Fitzroy ruckman, with the left foot, going further down the ground and looking for and finding Craig McGrath. Well done, Craig McGrath. Quick handball to Peake, and now he goes towards goal, right into the goal square. Osborne, can he trap it? No. Jess, one hand. Well cleared, Jimmy Jess. And well kicked too. He just missed out on spotting Geary. Loken. A high ball and a good chest mark. Johnny Blakey won't take his eye off the ball. He's a very disciplined player. Now Blakey on the centre square. Play on, call the umpire. It's a high ball. Players set themselves in front. Richard Osborne. I wonder when the sun got in Jimmy Jess's eye just at the critical stage. But that was well played by Osborne because he came in from the side and took a very well judged mark. Now only 15 metres from goal. He'll kick it about 25 metres from goal. We'll just wait. It's a goal. So Richard Osborne's come back into the play. He started particularly well early on in the game. He's kicked 2 goals, and he was a focal point early for them. And the score at this stage, Fitzroy have hit the front. They took the lead initially, 8-9-57. Richmond 7-13-55. We've played 12 minutes of this second quarter at the MCG.
Yes, Fitzroy now in front for the first time, and they've been working their way back in this game. I felt that Richmond was controlling this game, but they're falling badly down at forward. So Lee, Williamson, Lee he got the hit out, but Pekin gets the ball, but it's taken there nicely by Philip Walsh, and he swings around on the left foot. What's he done? He's trying to find Eustace, but Roos is there. Manton, he can't run, and as the ball goes over the line and out of bounds on the half-forward line, Richmond into attack, kicking to the right of the screen, But the Tigers been a little bit disappointing since quarter time because I felt they were the better side, but they're falling down forward. So it's Liam Williamson. Comes down there. Couldn't be trapped there by Ania. Manton. He flicks it on. Rawlings, but taken there by Paul Roos, the All-Australian 85 player, as the ball goes down there. And Dwyer, he's a very busy player. Hasn't been as prominent today, but he's still working hard as he gets it over there to Loken. Loken, it's taken there by Pekin as it comes down to the half-forward line. Can he trap it there, Harris? He handballs. Here's the danger man, Conlon. He don't let him get loose. He's chipped it high in the air, but he's offline. The goal umpire says one behind Michael Conlon, but it keeps Fitzroy in front. And the Roys are 3 points in front, 58 leading Richmond, 55 at the 13.5-minute mark of the third quarter at the MCG.
Jimmy Jess, a high ball right into that centre square. Mark Lee tried to tap it on. Loken there, leading in the race. Courageous play there. Kept his eye on the ball, coming through strongly. Michael Reeves playing the ball in front. Can't use his strength. He tried to, but just not quite strong enough to hold position. And in hot pursuit was Richard Geary. But Michael Reeves had his body in front and forced the ball over the boundary line. Now Mark Lee, Graham Williamson, the strength of Lee. Loken in there, a head over the ball. And just can't quite keep it in play. And again, the ball to be thrown in just about the same position of which it was some 15 seconds earlier. Williamson, Lee, both players jostling. Learning a bit as Graham Williamson. But down he went behind play from Lee. But anyway, let's back to the action. Osborne over the ball. And the umpire will bounce it. Now it'll be interesting. We'll just see what happens here against Williamson and Lee. Remembering, Lee just gave one to Graham Williamson. Well done, Graham Williamson. Kept his eye on the ball. Mark Lee worried more about the man than the ball. And over the ball is John Blakey coming through. It's a hurried kick towards centre half forward. The ball bounces. Jess traps it. Players now will throw themselves on. Craig McGrath there. And again, the umpire has got to come in and bounce right at the centre half forward position for Fitzroy.
Well, Graham Williamson is Fitzroy's third option, I'd say, with Matthew Rendell and Paul Tilley unavailable for selection. And young Williamson has got his chance here today against the experienced campaigner Mark Lee. But he's not overawed by it, but Lee this time traps the ball. It picked up there by Hinchin, and he's kicked it over there. Conlon, he's the danger man, and he's put it through, Michael Conlon. Good play there, Michael. So Fitzroy move on to 9 goals, 10-64. Creeping away from Richmond, 7-13-55, and that's Michael Conlon's 4th goal for the game.
It was good play by Conlon there, getting away from Bauer. And he has done on 2 occasions in this third quarter. Bauer just a little loose there, and Michael's kicked 4 goals for the game. And he is a dangerous player. Now Williamson in the centre bounce. Walsh coming through, gets that high ball quickly on. He's going to bounce. Roos leading in the race. Coming over is Roach. Roach now. No, it's not Roach, it's Strawn. Strawn goes high. He's come off interchange. Is it a goal? We'll wait on the umpire. No. The crowd rose in anticipation, but it was a point. Obviously playing up forward is Greg Strawn, originally from Blackburn. I couldn't, as a junior, get a game with the Blackburn under-16s, but Greg was a little bit better than I was at the same age. Now Mark Lee has the ball. Kicks it in towards centre half forward. Roos. Can he? No. Clayton. Can he take it? He can't. Comes to ground. Strawn over the ball. He's a courageous player, is Greg Strawn. May lack a little in speed, but he's got a big body, and he puts it in over the ball. 64 Fitzroy playing Richmond. 56. We've played 17 minutes of this third quarter, right on the 50-metre line there at centre half forward position. Well done, Graham Williamson. Manton traps it, going onto the left foot and going goalward. What has he done? Here's the goal. Well done, John Manton. Not noticed for his skill, but definitely works very hard on his game. That's his 3rd goal, and Richmond have come back into the game. However, Fitzroy are 9-10-64. Richmond 8-14-62, and we've played 17.5 minutes of this quarter. The ball hit out by Williamson, trapped by Manton. Manton, normally a right foot kick, goes onto the left and then snapped truly for goal. Actually, Graham Williamson may have hit it, I suppose, if he had a second turn at it, maybe to the right of his body and hit it towards the boundary line, but he brought it back in towards centre half forward.
Okay, back in the centre, it's Lee and Williamson again. It could have been a free then paid to Fitzroy, but Morris Rioli, the Tigers, I still feel danger, got more danger up forward than the Fitzroy have, with Quinlan out of the side, but Fitzroy sent it back, but Michael Pickering to take the mark in the back line to relieve the Richmond side. He sends it across and he's made a play there. Can he pick it up, Philip Walsh, in front of young Dwyer? Walsh flicks it on to Craig Smith, and Craig Smith on the left foot. He's looking for Roach. What's he done? But chipping in front of him is Roos to punch the ball away, and working it again is the, I'd say you'll find John Neer, but the umpire will decide to bounce it up. Well, last time these two sides played in round 6, it was a very close game with Richmond only won by a point, 122 to 121, and there's only 2 points the difference here at the 18-minute mark of the third quarter at the MCG. And we find that Fitzroy got that 2-point advantage.
The umpire with the ball. Richmond's left forward flank, Williamson. Ball to ground, it's kicked in now. Roos takes a very good high mark. Under a bit of pressure there from John Manton. Plays on quickly to the running Pert. Pert, not a good kick off the boot. Osborne in there. Off the ground by Philip Walsh. That was safety first stuff. It allows the team to regroup and then mount another onslaught. Now the ball to be thrown in centre wing. Simon Clark, good to see him back on the ground. He's in the ruck. He hurt his head earlier, or hit his head early in that second quarter. Was a little daisy. Tried to take the free kick, stubbed his toe. It's good to see him back on the ground. Williamson against him in the ruck. There was a push by Clayton. Now over to Waitman. One bounce. Goes goalward. Deliberate with his kick. Let's hope the accuracy's there. It's not. And that's another point. So that takes Richmond a point closer. 1 point the difference now. 64-63. Fitzroy 64, Richmond 63. A chip by Pert. Bernie Harris with it. Goes long. Out towards that centre wing. Bounces and will go over the boundary line just before Richard Osborne could get to it.
Well, Dale Waitman, Don, normally an accurate kick for goal, has had kicked 4 behinds today, and that may tell a little bit of the story of the Tigers side, because he's a little bit of firepower for them on the run and normally kicks his 2 or 3 goals a game. As the ball's thrown in again, and what Williamson and young Clark now hustling at Dwyer. Can he trap the ball? He does. He gets the hand pass over to Michael Reeves. Reeves handballs it back to his teammate and they send it forward, but coming across is Graham Landy. And Graham Landy been around since 76, originally coming from Geelong, on the left foot. And send Richmond up to the centre of the ground, at the back, punched on.
Oh, good play.
And it's taken by Waitman. What's he done? Can it roll through? It has! Great play, as Don Scott said. And that's a goal for the Tigers, and they're in front here at the MCG at the 20-minute mark. Richmond 9-15-69, leading Fitzroy 9-10-10-64.
Well, that was really a good passage of play, unselfish play. Johnny Manton went up in front, punched the ball on, realising the defenders were going to do the same. Waitman going goalward, and just as he got his kick, he would have been paid the free kick because there was a strong tackle from Michael Reeves. And Reeves put him to the ground, and I think had he have not kicked the goal, the umpire would have awarded a free kick up in front of goal. Clark in there now on the ball. Morris Rioli onto the right foot. Morris goes goalward. And 2 Richmond players there. They can take a raffle. Isn't he going to pay that mark? No. Play on, said the umpire. Hinchin. And he clears desperately. Barwick from behind. Good play, Doug. But he gave away the free kick. Well, the intention was that right. Pickering across to Rioli. Now Rioli going on his right foot into the shadows. It's not a good kick. Normally a left footer, but in that time was a right foot kick, and dropping in and taking a good mark. And playing a reasonably good game is Tim Pekin across that half-back line. Now they set up through running. McIver across to Pert. Now Pert lifts his head going in towards Conlon. Traps the ball in front of him, Michael. Now another handball. Isn't that interesting? The ball from where it came is back where it went. Now to centre half forward. Billy Loken. He lines up. Not a good kick off the boot. Will it drop for Bernie? It doesn't. Young Bernie Harris couldn't trap it. Players over the ball. David Palm in there, and that was strong play and really good play by that Fitzroy player, Craig McGrath. He just wanted to trap the ball. It's hard enough for backmen to bring the ball down. The forwards have got to work just as hard, and it's good to see Craig McGrath trap the ball and keep it up in the forward line. Palm underneath the pack, and I think he'll be awarded the free kick there. Around the neck against Craig McGrath. Now right in the back pocket is David Palm, and Bernie Harris is on his mark. No movement up forward, so he's only got one option. That's to go long, high, and along the boundary line. He does. A big fly by Pickering. Clark there. He traps the ball. Fitzroy try to get it out. They do so with a handball. Barwick fumbles at the crucial moment. Then just blazes away at goal, over his shoulder, in towards the goal square. The pack are up. No one can bring him down. Osborne's got it. He's a danger. Quick handball. Landy dodges, twists, turn. Now sets it up with a good run from Bowyer. What a bad bounce, on an unlucky bounce. Reeves across to Loken. Loken, can he get it? Goes onto the handball. But Conlon smothered. Well done, Bauer. Bauer now picks up, misses that. Ooh, that was a one around the head, and he felt it. You see the hand on the head from Brendan Bauer. Everyone else on the ground could see it except the umpire, and Brendan certainly felt that. Oh, I should say, yeah, Brendan. Reeves up over the back, or was a high flyer in his early days at North Melbourne, across to Clayton. Clayton going goalward and taking a good mark. Right in that full-back position is Jeff Hogg.
Well, Jeffrey Hogg to send the Richmond side out, and they're under a bit of pressure in the last 5 minutes. And this is the important time of the game in the late third quarter. Oh, good mark there. Very good mark taken there from Graham Hinchin. It's been a good play today for the Fitzroy side.
He's got a lot of courage, Ray.
Certainly has, Don. So he's too far out to kick, but he's going to send Fitzroy into attack at the 60. He's about 60 metres out, and he kicks it high. Torpedo, if what you call it. Could have been a mark to Jim Jess and Pickering, but he's kicked it to Dwyer. Geary, can he come on? Oh, nearly taken by Dean Turner. Anea, he flicks it over, but Ross Thornton, who takes the ball, goes back on the right foot and sends it there, but not a good kick. John Anea takes it. Is it kicked up in the air? In front of the play is Scotty McIver. Barry Rawlings picks the ball up. What's he done? Richard Geary on the 50-metre line. He has a shot for the goal. What's he done? He's put it through. Richmond's 10th goal. Richmond 10-15-75. Good play. Fitzroy 9-10-64. And actually Richard Geary has missed a couple of shots today. That's his first goal, and a very important goal at the time on period of the third quarter here at the MCG.
Well, Geary, who kicked his first goal, has been a little bit inaccurate up on that forward line. The game had an interesting situation. 75 playing 64. Can Richmond go on? Can Fitzroy get back into it? Very interesting third quarter. Williamson got the hit down. Geary, Rioli goes through that pack onto that left foot. Now towards centre half forward. Roach is leading out, can't trap it. Well done, Dale Wayman. He'll go goalward, stabs it in. And that was a bad miss from a very experienced player.
Actually, Don, it's his fifth behind.
Yes, his fifth behind. He's only kicked the one goal. That was when he was under real pressure. Now Pert clears, another nice kick. Reeves up high, couldn't bring it down. I thought he would have held that. The ball in dispute. Scott McIver, he'll run straight. Sets it up with a handball across to Reeves. Now Reeves looking for a handball, but no one coming past. Forced to go onto that left foot. Good attempted smother by Clark. Now Fitzroy have got it, three players. Barwick across to Bernie Harris, and he goes in. And he's kicked it. So Bernie has kicked Fitzroy's 10th goal. And Bernie Harris has 3 for the game. So the scores now, 6 points the difference in favour of Richmond. 10-16-76 Richmond. Fitzroy 10-10-70.
Well, very interesting game here at the MCG in the pro football game between the Tigers and the Roys, and only 6 points difference. And the last quarter certainly going to be a very interesting competition, because the first time they played this season, there was only a point difference in it, so it could be a very, very good last quarter. So Richmond 76, Fitzroy 70. Probably more important to Fitzroy to win this one today, because they're only out of the 5 on percentage, and Richmond are 2 games behind. But the Tigers won't give it up, as Clark as it comes down to the ground. Hinchin's there. It could have been Greg Strawn was grabbed, but the umpire says, give it to me, fellas, and we'll bounce it again.
Interesting situation on the bench for Fitzroy. Both their players are injured, Ray. Grant Laurie looked like he's injured an arm or a shoulder. And Dean Turner, I think he's got a leg injury. So they've got really no one they can bring on. So they've really got to hang on now.
Well, that sometimes makes sides lift a bit as Paul Roos sends them out from centre half back, trying to find Dwyer. And it'll beat him and Philip Walsh over the line and out of bounds. 27.5 minutes played. Richmond 76, Fitzroy 70, 6 points in lead to the Tigers. They've held the lead most of the day. Fitzroy got in front very quickly or slightly in this quarter, but the Tigers bounced back. Williamson, Lee, Williamson gets it down. John Annear, Philip Walsh. He streams round on the right foot and sends him down there, but Michael Reeves, but he couldn't take it. But at the back and kicking it away is the Fitzroy player, and he comes to the ground. Greg Strawn, can he pick it up? A little bit slow, and coming in is Scotty Clayton on the left foot, and he'll send it to the boundary, and I'll say it'll go over the line and out of bounce on the half back line for the Fitzroy side.
Well, the shadows creeping across here at the MCG, the shadows of the members stand. 16 degrees in Melbourne. Not a good day from football. Good day as far as a spectator is concerned, because it is a beautiful sunny day. But if you're out there as a footballer, the ball is getting caught in the sun and it is difficult to judge. Thornton towards centre half forward. Pickering left his man Barwick, and Barwick doesn't look too good either. So Fitzroy are up against it. They've got one player injured and two on the interchange bench injured. There's Richmond in their forward line, and Fitzroy's maybe saved by the bell. Richmond 10-16-76. Fitzroy behind, 1 goal behind, 10-10-70. The game just about to start this final quarter. Very, very interesting. 6 points the difference. The ground being enveloped by the shadows. The sun falling behind the clouds, starting to set. And Richmond hold that 6-point advantage. Bauer with the ball. Brendan Bauer. Awarded a 15-metre penalty. Now they're trying to set it up and run. Hogg going long. Centre forward comes to ground. Strawn couldn't trap it. Cleared by Roos out to centre wing, and taking a good safe mark, Graham Landy. Now Landy on the centre wing for Richmond. 76 playing 70. He's gone long along that boundary looking for Roach. Has he found him? No. Ball to ground. Rioli there. Shovels it out. The ball trapped. Pert off the ground. Safety first stuff. Good play. Bauer attacks it. Can't trap it. Follows it up. Can he keep it in? He does. No, he just didn't quite bring it around far enough. And Scott Clayton doesn't look too good. And as far as injury is concerned, Fitzroy not in the best of situations. They've got both their interchange players, Laurie and Dean Turner, off injured. Good mark, Graham Williamson. And they definitely need all people standing at the moment. Noticeable in the third quarter, Doug Barwick limping as well. Williamson, he's got to play a big part in this final quarter. A high fly by Bolden. And again, safety first football. Experience from Graham Landy. He punched it over the boundary. And again, the ball to be thrown in on the right half forward flank for Fitzroy. Over the back, Hinchin. Landy. Reeves, Scott Clayton, Paul Roos coming through. Roos gets a quick kick. It's a high kick to nobody in particular. The game just in really limbo at the moment. Somebody waiting to put a match to set this game alight. Tim Peakin's taken the mark, couldn't get away from Palm. Now he's got Bernie Harris by himself. That was Palm's man, actually, Bernie Harris. A long kick by Bernie. Centre forward, Barwick, the injured Barwick goes goalward. And he's kicked it. That's what they needed, Fitzroy. They've tied the scores, and we can see Barwick not too good as he gets up. He's bent over there and he'll limp away. Courageous effort by Doug Barwick. A real courageous effort. And he's kicked his first goal. And it's come at the 2.5-minute mark of this last quarter.
Well, scores level, and as Don says, the Fitzroy personnel haven't got much on the bench left to bring on. They've got a few injuries, and maybe this will be the spark that they need. The scores are level at the 2-minute mark. No one can get it. Comes out by the Tigers. Can it be taken by there from Benania? He gets it over to Greg Strawn. He wears the bump nicely. Dale Waitman hasn't kicked a goal today. Is this going to be his first? But oh, it's one of those days that Dale Waitman want to forget. That's his 6 behind, and that certainly, but will give Fitzroy, Richmond the lead by a behind. But Dale Waitman, a prolific goal kicker for the Tigers, offline today. Timmy Pekin takes the kick off from Pert. As the umpire says play on, and the hand pass to Rees. Rioli tries to stop him, but not a good kick, and taking the mark there is Simon Clark, the second string muckman for the Richmond side. Clark in the centre of the MCG, sending Richmond forward. They've got to go direct. Paul Roos, could have taken it, but he's got time to control the ball. And look at this, he's over to McGrath. McGrath goes on the right foot, but he decides on the hand pass to Harris. Coming after him there is Palm. Good tackle, David Palm, and good umpiring there. A free kick played. So Richmond play on through Rawlings. Rawlings kicks it down to John Anea, and Anea streams down the centre line for the Richmond side, looking for Roach, but it's punched away there from Pert and out of bounds. 4 minutes gone, last quarter. An exciting game at the pro football game. Richmond 77 leading Fitzroy 76.
Now the ball to be thrown in, right forward flank, nearly right forward pocket for Richmond. Williamson behind Lee. Lee got it down to Waitman. Tries with a handball. Geary can't trap it. Hinchin. A quick kick by Pekin. Trapped by Bowyer. Bauer. Handball. Rioli. Can he? No, he can't do anything with it. Bauer follows up well. A handball out to Smith. Will it sit for Smith? Goes onto the left foot. Goes Goldwood. Can he bring it back? No, he can't. And that's another point. So 2 points the difference now. Richmond 10-18, 78. Fitzroy 11-10, 76. Blakey leading Anea in the race for the ball. It bounces unkindly for Blakey. Anea. Well done, John Blakey. Michael Conlon. Left foot. And finds Bernie Harris. Now Harris. Tries to play on, does so. Runs around the man on the mark. Goes goal towards centre half forward. Dropping back McGrath. Well done, Craig McGrath. Didn't sit for Osborne. Now well followed up McGrath again. A handball out to Bolden. Started on interchange. Conlon, who's wandered way down from that centre wing. A high kick into the centre square, and goal square I should have said, and a good mark taken by Brendan Bauer. Now Bauer in that back pocket position. Barwick on the mark. Barwick can't move. A nice mark. Michael Pickering flew over the back of Richard Osborne to take a good mark. Talented player is Michael Pickering. He spots and finds Jeff Hogg, named at full back, runs on, has got Anea. Anea, a back to stupid play. Hogg followed up well. Pekin. Will and players jump on the ball. Pekin trapped it. A pat on the head from from John Blakey. He realised that they had to trap the ball there. And that's exactly what Tim Pekin did. Now Fitzroy have got to regroup. They're 2 points behind. Can they get back in the game? They've never put 2 consecutive wins together since round 3. Eustace in towards the centre there. A push by Loken. Umpire said, "What? Now that is unusual." Billy Loken used Richard Geary's head to push off from, yet he got the free kick. Over Palm's head. The ball in no ends land. Trapped by Bernie Harris. Going goalward. Can he kick it? No, he's off target. The umpire's running right across the goal for another point. But that's a point closer, Fitzroy. Richmond 10-18, 78. Fitzroy 11-11, 77. We've played 7 minutes of this final quarter.
Well, we certainly can't say this game hasn't been entertaining, Don, because Richmond kicked 3-5 to Fitzroy's 4-1 in the third quarter, and here they are now, only a point the difference within Richmond's favour as Jess sends it out. Who's going to be the spark that's going to win this game? As Mark Eustace, been busy but hasn't done much with the ball today. He kicks it long down there. Can he trap the ball? Picked up by Craig Smith. He goes around. Good play, son. On the right foot. He straightens up Morris Rioli at the back, but can he get it? He can't. Geary coming into support is picking up his Tim, what's his name, Loken, but he can't pick the ball up, and it's. Well, I think I'm getting too excited here, Don. It's
actually,
not Tim.
I haven't got his name down. What's his name?
Tim Pekin.
I see. I thought there was what's his name was out there, and I didn't know his.
Can you give me his number? Anyway, the ball's bounced again. It can't be taken, and it'll go over the line and out of bounds. Well, as I said, it's certainly not a high-standard game, but terribly exciting, and you've got Richmond 78 leading the Fitzroy side 77 at the 8-minute mark.
Now the ball thrown in, and Richmond's right forward pocket. Lee, picked up by Thornton, the acting captain. He clears on the left foot, and he'll go over the boundary line before Barry Rawlings can just get to it. It's important that Fitzroy hang in and win this game. They've got a number of injured players. Barwick up at full forward. He can't run. They can't replace him. Both Turner and Laurie are on the bench. They're obviously worse off. And Fitzroy, if they're going to stay in touch with the finals, they've got to win today. There was strength displayed by Lee, the way he just pushed Williamson out of the row towards centre half forward. Manton, can he trap it? No. Pert, a good player is Pert. Always tons of time. That's a hallmark of a good player. One who's got plenty of time to do what he likes with a ball. Now the ball in the centre. It's going Reeves' way. The crowd dispute that free kick. But then again, we're out here barracking. The umpire's in the centre adjudicating. He makes the decisions. Reeves, a long high kick. There's no movement on the forward line. Landy over the top of it. He'll break away. He does. Sets up a handball. Pekin goes in. Again, Landy follows up another handball. Rioli can't trap it. Dwyer, he's gone out of the game, but he traps it. Plays for the free kick. And he's got it. That's experience, but the umpire pays the advantage. Thornton, a little chip. Across to Bernie Harris. Bernie's got no one. Yes, he has. A hand pass across to Scott Clayton. A high kick. Barwick, the injured Barwick. Can he hold it? No, he can't. McGrath. What's he going to do? He twists back onto the left foot. I think he has put it through for a point. He has. And scores tied away. 78 apiece. Richmond 10-18, 78. Fitzroy 11-12, 78. We've played 9.5 minutes of this final quarter.
Jim Jess sends it out. Dwyer couldn't take the mark. Coming at the back is McIver. Can he hand pass it? He has. Harris, good play there from Palm, and the ball will go over the line and out of bounds at the 50-metre mark with the Fitzroy side in attack. Scores level, couldn't get it any closer. 10 minutes gone here in the last quarter at the pro football game here between Richmond and Fitzroy. An important game for the Roys because Essendon in front at Windy Hill and Footscray not far behind Geelong at the VFL Park, and they must win this game today as it goes over the line and out of bounds. As 10 minutes played and a very good game in respect of tightness and excitement. Thrown in, Clayton goes over the back. Can he trap it, Bauer? Once again, it's Scotty Clayton on the right foot. What's he done? I think he's, no, offline. The umpire says offline. So, but Fitzroy now have hit the front, and they've gone on to 11-13, 79 to Richmond 10-18, 78.
Big kick by Jimmy Jess now at full back. Williamson underneath it. A big effort required from him. Dwyer gone out of the game, going onto that left foot. He's got no one. Can he get away? No, he can't. A quick handball. It was a desperate handball. And the ball over the boundary line. Philip Walsh underneath there. And the ball to be thrown in. 60 metres from the Fitzroy goal. Clark and Williamson to do the ruck work. Clark. Williamson throws himself over it, traps it. And the ball to be thrown up. Will bounce down 60 metres from the Fitzroy goal. 79 Fitzroy playing 78 Richmond. 11.5 minutes of this final quarter. Williamson. Clark. Clark gets it down. Clayton underneath the pack. A hurry kick up forward and getting underneath it is Michael Pickering taking a relieving and safe chef's mark. Now Pickering, players a little tired now. There's not as much run. He tries to get run through handball. Hogg runs around, another bounce. Now drives the ball towards centre half, or it's a high one. Set up for the backman, over the back, Ruse, can't control it. Rioli in there fighting. Manton back onto the ball. He'll trap it. The ball will be underneath those players, Michael Reeves and John Manton. And you can see the players a little wary now as we're coming into this last quarter. The bounce down right on that 50-metre line. Umpires in control of today are McDonald and Saville. Williamson do the ruck work against the captain, Mark Lee. Lee, experience for you. Waitman underneath the pack. Handball out to Rioli. A quick kick by Rioli. Has it smothered. Coming through and getting the ball there was Anir. Blakey. They're just trying to get it forward. Conlon missed. Good play, Michael Conlon. Has strength for you. and commitment, but an indirect kick. And Graham Landy, who's been very solid on this half-back line, particularly in this last quarter, takes a relieving mark.
Graham Landy sending the Richmond side back towards the centre of the ground. Could have been a push there to Williamson, and I think everybody on the ground saw that one. And Graham Williamson, the young ruckman, will get the free kick just at the centre of the ground. Over to Paul Roos. Roos lakes the handballs over to Loken, and Billy Loken, he's got his teammate out there to try and find him at Graham Hinchin in front of David Palm. Over to Dwyer, and he shits it up to centre forward. Can he take the mark at the back? It could be through, but once again coming across is Richard Osmond. Pickering working hard. Osmond with a hand pass, trying to find the danger man, Conlon. Back to Osmond. It could have been a free kick to Osmond. The umpire says play on. Michael Pickering goes in there. So's Palm. Good play. Morris Rioli sends it out. Look at John Manton. He's got the hold the ground on himself. He goes around nicely from Timmy Pekin. Sends it down forward, but he'll kick it straight to Reeves, but he couldn't take the mark. There's a chance here for Richmond. Craig Smith. Bauer, can he off the ground? He's kicked it up, Notting, sorry, but through from behind. A golden opportunity lost to the Tigers, but it'll get them back level with the Fitzroy. 79 apiece at the 14-minute mark of the last quarter.
That was a bad mistake by Michael Reeves, the centre half back then. He dropped an easy mark. That was nearly a goal to Richmond. Thornton with the ball. Going around that boundary. Dwyer is coming into this game in this last quarter. Onto that right foot. Conlon, one hand. Can he trap it? Yes, he does. Can he get away? No, he can't. And the umpire's awarded a free kick for a good tackle to Brendan Bauer. And Bauer will relieve for Richmond. Richmond's left half-back flank, a chip across to Rioli. Where are the Fitzroy defenders? Good smother. What a smother. Mark Dwyer, good play, son. This deserves a goal. He's chipped it. Will it sit? It does. What fantastic football. Well done, Mark Dwyer. And the players run across and congratulate him. What a fantastic smother. He set that up, chipped it in. It sat for Bernie Harris. And Bernie Harris raced in and kicked his fourth goal. Now the score. Fitzroy 12-13, 85. Richmond 10-19, 79. We've played 15 and a half minutes of this last quarter.
Well, is that enough? I don't think so at the 15-minute mark, but it's given that little bit of a break today. 6 points is a lot. And you've got a lot of players active in this game. Waitman's had 12 kicks, Geary 12 for Richmond, and Fitzroy Harris 12 and Barwick 12 as they stream forward. But the Fitzroy side, Scotty McIver takes the mark at centre half back to relieve the pressure. Goes back on the left foot and sends Fitzroy forward. Not a good kick. Can he take it? Yes, it's picked up by Craig Smith. Could have been a trip, but well, it'll hold the play up. Graham Hinchin saying pushing back, and Craig Smith, handballs, Morris Rioli, they need him to fire in the last quarter. Sends it up the full forward. Can he take the mark, Manton? He's one out of bounds 3, and Fitzroy go out the back. But Barry Rawlings, can he trap it? He has. Yes, good play experience shows there. Sends it forward. Has he got anyone up there? Could have been the back there to Manton, but Fitzroy's back stand firm. Mark Eustace kicks it high, and I think you'll find great mark there. Good play, Dale Waitman. He hasn't kicked a goal today. He's kicked 5 behinds, and can this be his first? And it's got to be an important goal. I'm sorry, he has kicked the 1. This will be his second goal. But early in the game was very much offline. Had kicked 5 behinds before he registered the goal, which is very unusual for Dale Waitman, Don.
Actually, that was interesting, Ray. I wonder whether he did take the mark or whether it was Johnny Manton that assisted. But anyway, that's not the point. Waitman's got the mark. And has he kicked it? He has. And so the score's tied away again. Richmond 11-19, 85. Fitzroy 12-13, also 85. We've played 17 minutes of this final quarter.
Well, excitement you couldn't find, in our game of Australian rules. This is what we'd like to see, tied up at the 17-minute mark, and either side can win. And you'll probably find the way this game's going, it won't be made. The decision won't be made till time on. So as the ball's bounced again, Can Richmond get another game, or can Fitzroy stay within the 5 as Jeffrey Hogg streams out the back and sends it down there? Graham Hinchin in front of Barry Rawlings. A nice flick over the top there. Fitzroy come out the back. Can he trap it? Yes, he has. And they send it up forward. Richard Osman. Up the back is Jimmy Jess. Good punch out. Coming in to take the ball is Barwick. He kicks it high in the air, but could have been parked there from Pickering. But taking out the back is Jess. Good play there from Fitzroy. Can it be taken? But it'll go over the line and out of bounds.
No,
yes, it is, Donald.
It finally does. That was a terrific smother by Michael Conlon. This is what football's all about. It's a pity the players don't commit themselves like this all day. The score's tied away. McGrath and Lee to do the ruck work. The big body of Mark Lee. Anir underneath the pack. The players throw themselves desperately at the ball. Anir underneath. Michael Reeves on top. And getting on off also is Bernie Harris. Now the umpire to bounce the ball down. Important game for Fitzroy. They've got to stay in touch with the finals. McGrath gets a bounce. Anir, a hurried kick, he'll relieve. Further up the ground, punched away by Geary from Loken. And again, safety first football. Richmond playing the ball around this boundary. That's the way to play it, especially in a tight game. Hit it towards the boundary until you get the break on the back line. Lee pushed out, taken by McGrath, and I think there's going to be a free kick. Yes, the umpire said that was shepherding. It's a deliberate shepherd there, going to Mark Lee, and Lee has the free kick right on the Richmond half-back line. Now, he's decided to change direction of play. Good play, Mark Lee. Now can they get a build-up, Richmond? Bauer. He's kicked it out in front of Philip Walsh, but it was a bad bounce. Dwyer punched away. Now Landy has it. Landy twists it back. Can it sit? It does. Craig Smith. Now he'll go longer, looking for Roach. Pert there. Punched away by Pert. Conlon must be on the ball. Gets his hurried left foot kick. Rioli can't trap. He does. Well done, Morris. Terrific smother by Thornton. And there's a free kick, but with advantage played. Play on. Rawlings. High, long and quick. Up forward. A number of Fitzroy players. Well done. Who was that? That was a good mark. Graham Williamson kept his eye on the ball despite the sun. What a relieving mark. Now Williamson at that fullback position. A little chip across to Scott McIver. McIver a handball. Over to Roos. Now Roos. They've got to set it up, Fitzroy. Run it. The players on both sides are tired. 2, 3 handballs. Now he's got to go long. He does in towards centre half forward, Roos. Osborne in there. Throws himself at the ball. Now across and shooting for goal. What is... 1 point. And that player, Bolden. Darren Bolden, so he had a chance there. Exciting game. Fitzroy a point in front. 86 playing 85. And Darren Bolden could have kicked a goal, which would have made the Fitzroy camp very, very happy.
Okay, the ball comes out the back and it'll go over line out of bounds. The next goal certainly is the main one of the day. And if Fitzroy get it, that 7 points could be what they need. But still plenty of time left at 21 minutes gone as the ball's thrown in. And Lee and McGrath comes down. Mark Eustace busy, but hasn't really done much with the ball today. As it comes down there to Richard Geary. Can he follow the ball over? Hinchin's with him. Can he get it across? Good play there from Graham Hinchin. But he's going to give a free kick there to Richard Geary. Donald, do you know why?
No,
I can't pick that one.
I was just watching the interchange. Morris Rioli's going off and Greg Strawn on. Sorry, Ray.
Okay, Don. Anyway, I couldn't pick that one up, but the umpire's paid it, and as you say, as you always say, the umpire's right. So the ball goes up to centre half forward, but it'll be a mark on the chest. Should have been paid to Reeves, and it will be paid. So Michael Reeves, ex-North Melbourne, left foot, sends it out. Oh, Fitzroy looking a little bit, moving a bit better as they send it down to full forward. What do they got? Osborne pushing and shoving. Oh, Jeffrey Hogg. Good mark, son. And in the pressure mark in this situation with 1 point difference. What's he done? He's kicked it over there. Barry Rawlings, the experienced Barry Rawlings, goes round Richard Osborne. Left foot. They've got to go direct, Tigers. But a good mark to relieve the pressure there from the Fitzroy side.
Well, Roos, the centre half-back, goes in and finds Billy Loken. Billy Loken builds it up now. A handball to Blakey. 1 bounce. John, what will you do? Another bounce. Will he go long? Now he does. Goal, Woody goes. What is the ball doing? It drifts to the right and another point. So 2 point advantage to Fitzroy. 12-14, 86. Richmond 11-19, 85. We've played 22 and a half minutes of this last quarter. Can Fitzroy hang on? Can Richmond get back into this game? Only time will tell. 3-on-1 situation. The ball brought to ground. Ania. A quick left foot kick further around that ground. Dean Notting leading in the race there at the ball. Tim Peakin, well done. Blakey slips at the crucial time. Cops an elbow. Sends it up and drifting across the pack. And playing a marvellous game in this last quarter is Graham Landy. A quick handball to Palm. Palm further up the ground. Peakin. Geary. Across to Ania, and he goes forward with a shocking left foot kick. Just couldn't quite control it. And Michael Pickering now on the forward line. Just couldn't keep that ball in play. Scott McIver is marking Michael Pickering. And the score 87 playing 85. The ball left foot, half forward flank for Richmond. Williamson gets the hit out. Across to Blakey. Blakey a quick kick. That's all you can do in the last quarter situation like that. Conlon went back and should have gone for the ball, hoping for that lucky bounce. There it comes out. Conlon has control of the ball. There's no one around. Can he keep it in? He does so. Ruse. Now he goes long. Osborne. And I think it is a good mark. It's Hogg, Jeff Hogg. And that's been a good contest between these two. Osborne set it on and fire. Now Hogg certainly held him as the game's gone on.
Okay, Jeffrey Hogg done well on the danger man, Osborne. Couldn't be trapped there from Philip Walsh. The Roy's come out the back. Comes across there, picked up by Bolden. This could be the goal they need for Fitzroy as he straightens up. What's he done? I think he's put it through. No, he hasn't, but Osborne! He's sprayed it through. Great goal, Richard Osborne. Could be the seal at the 25-minute mark. That's the goal they wanted. So Fitzroy, 13-15-93. Richmond, 11-19-85. And Richard Osborne's third goal.
Well, that was good play by Craig McGrath then. He was the player that got it up. I thought it hit the goal post, but it didn't. Craig McGrath shot for goal. No one around. It came off the hands of the pack, off Graham Landy's hands, or Jeff Hogg's hands. He should have pushed it through. And Osborne's kick. Fitzroy's 13. They're now 7. I'll do a quick calculation. 8 points in front. Bad bounce. Favouring Waitman. Coming through there is Bauer. Ball in contest. Reeves. Smith. Well shepherded by his teammates for Smith. Thornton in there. Ducks ahead. Trap it, Ross. He can't. Throwing himself in his reason. He'll see the ball over the boundary line. And again, the play to start again. Desperate stuff. There's a Richmond player down. I think they'll have to bring the stretcher on. Looks like Dean Notting behind play. The umpire will have to hold players. Lee kicks a high one. Players underneath. Who'll bring it down? No one can. Perth the first to recover. And he'll get the free kick, an unlucky free kick. I think I would have played play on in this situation. The umpire may be a little bit technical. Anyway, Gary Perth's got the free kick now. He'll try and slow down play. Now Gary Pert right on that 50-metre line. Rioli back on the ground as Notting went off injured. Now Pert, a long high kick. Centre wing. Oh, Richard Osborne, what a mark. What a mark. Right on that centre wing, mark of the day. A chip across to Williamson. Now Williamson slowing down play, another chip. The Tigers a little bit tired. Reeves has the ball. Being covered there by Palm. Now you can see Reeves taking his time. Another chip. It plays on. What's he done and what will it happen? No, it comes to ground. Waitman, realising the situation's gone long. Up towards the centre square. And a good mark. No, not paid to Scott Clayton. Play on, says the umpire. Players over the ball. Will he bounce it up? No, yes he does. And a group of tired players there will pick themselves up. Scott Clayton with the ball, limps to his feet. But he's got minutes to hang on. 26 and a half minutes gone in this last quarter. The boundary throw, the ball up right in the centre. Williamson and Lee comes to ground underneath Waitman. Now it's with Hinchin. Hinchin chips it out over the top for Bernie Harris. Too long for him. It bounces for Bernie. He goes goalward, blazes away and drifts to the right for another point. So that's now 9 points of difference. Fitzroy 13-16-94. Richmond 11-19-85. 27 and a half minutes played in this last quarter.
Jim Jess sends it out, but Peakin He kicks, palms it out there, but he can't pick it up, and Richmond come out the back through Landy. Over to Philip Walsh. Time's running out for the Tigers. Richard Geary in the centre of the ground. Has he done a pass? Yes, to Michael Pickering. And Michael Pickering's played very well today. 9 marks, 6 kicks. He's been caught with the ball low, and that could be the vital free kick of this game, I'd say. And that could be the free kick that might finish Richmond. So Fitzroy 94. Richmond 85, 9 points, 27.5 minutes gone. Scott McIver taking his time. He's at centre-half back, and he'll send Fitzroy away. He's looking for Pekin, and Pekin's taken the mark. And I think Fitzroy have got this game, Donald.
Well, it looks like they're playing that way as Pekin puts it up towards Williamson. McGrath gets it out. Now Williamson has it, a chip. Who's he found? Nobody. It's with Bauer. No, it's with Hogg. Hogg now to Anir setting up the handball. Richmond trying to run it. Overrunning it is Straw, and he finally gets a handball. Walsh onto the right foot, goes through the centre. In front of the pack is McIver, strongly tackled by Pickering. And there it is, Fitzroy's won their consecutive game on ends, first since round 3. The final score, Fitzroy 13-16, 94. Richmond 11-19, 85.